Chapter 707. I've bought it. Xiaochen said plainly. I don't need to buy anymore. Ha ha ha. You've bought it? When Su Xiaolu heard it, she was instantly amused. Lu Shuang, you really look for the right person. Your boyfriend is just like you. He's really good at pretending. Did you buy it? That's right. We came here in the Land Rover. Lu Shuang was really a little annoyed at this moment. This Su Xiaolu was really a snob. If Xiaochen's identity was revealed, they would be scared to death. However, Lu Shuang wasn't the kind of person who would talk too much. If Xiaochen didn't say it, she wouldn't say it either. You came in a car? Sure, we can go out together later. How about you let me see your car? Su Xiaolu smiled at Lu Shuang. Then, Lu Shuang just wanted to agree, but she turned her head and looked at Xiaochen. Can I let her see it? Whatever. Let her see it. It's not bad anyway. Xiaochen shrugged indifferently. Then you can see it later. Lu Shuang nodded. Ha, sure. Right, Dekuan, how is it? Su Xiaolu didn't bother with these two people. She felt that these two people were too prideful. It was meaningless. Facts speak louder than words. It would be clear when they went out later. Let's wait and see. Dekuan was helpless. He could only hold on. At this time, Skinny Monkey and Brother Ming came nearby. Skinny Monkey was looking around to help Brother Ming find a rice transplanter. His eyes scanned and fixed on a spot not far away. He was shocked. Brother Ming, look over there. Ah, what? Brother Ming was taken aback. He looked in the direction that Shouho was pointing. It was a shop that specialized in rice transplanters. However, in the next moment, his eyes narrowed, and he hurriedly rushed over with Shouho following closely behind. Dekuan was in a dilemma. He was anxious. He subconsciously looked around. When he turned around, he saw Skinny Monkey running over, and the legendary young master, Brother Ming. He was instantly ecstatic. Brother Monkey really gave me face. Not only did he come personally, but he also brought the young master, Brother Ming. I am really proud. The next moment, Dekuan hurried to the door with a smile and made a greeting gesture. Brother Monkey, this is Brother Ming. However, the two people who came in didn't stop at all. It was as if they didn't see Dekuan. They went around him and stopped in front of Xiaochen. Brother Ming said flatteringly, Boss Xiaochen, you're here. Why didn't you inform me? Little Lu, why are you here? Is this Motor City owned by your family? Xiaochen suddenly remembered that the voice on Dekuan's phone was Skinny Monkey. At that time, he remembered that this car city was the territory of an aristocratic family. It turned out to be the Lu families. Haha, yeah. Boss Xiaochen, do you want to buy a car? Lu Jinming asked with a smile. Xiaochen was getting more and more ruthless recently. The Lu family was naturally happy. Otherwise, the Lu family was at the bottom of the aristocratic families and was in danger. Usually, they were afraid of being replaced by other families. Now that they had a backer like Xiaochen, Lu Jinming had also become a hero. Lu Siwen had some resentment towards Lu Jinming messing around all day, but he actually became Xiaochen's underling. Lu Siwen was quite happy. Now, whenever he encountered a strong enemy, he could directly scare them. My son's boss is Xiaochen. If you're not convinced, he will cripple you when he comes. Then the other party would be convinced. Xiaochen's reputation in Songming City was still very scary. Oh, I want to buy a car, but I can't afford it. I don't know what his name is. He said he can find someone to give him a discount. We are waiting here. Xiaochen pointed to Dekuan and said, Ah! Skinny Monkey was suddenly stunned. Then he quickly turned to Yang Shuangkuan and said, Dekuan, why didn't you say earlier that you are looking for someone to buy a car for Brother Xiao? Really? You really want to buy a rice transplanter? Yes. Dekuan saw that Skinny Monkey finally remembered him, and he was very happy. Just now, when he saw Lu Jinming and Skinny Monkey go straight to Xiaochen, his heart suddenly skipped a beat. Did I make a mistake? These two? How could they know Skinny Monkey and Brother Ming? Oh, then why do we still need money? Lu Jinming waved his hand and said to the salesman, Just issue the invoice directly. Keep the invoice to offset the next year's rent. Ah, yes. The salesman nodded quickly. He naturally knew Lu Jinming. He knew that he was the young master of Motor City. If he said that it could offset the rent, then it would definitely be offset. So he quickly issued the invoice and said, "Please leave the delivery address." Lu Shuangshuang didn't expect things to go so smoothly, but she still looked at Xiao Chun with some hesitation. "This doesn't cost money?" "Oh, since little Lu said that I don't need to spend, then I won't spend," Xiao Chun said faintly. He also understood that the Lu family was like a fish in water at the aristocratic family level with the help of his name recently. However, Xiao Chun turned a blind eye to this little brother. After all, little Lu's crucial recording had helped Xiao Chun a lot. Without that recording, Xia Shibin wouldn't have been able to rely on him so easily. It could be said that Lu Zhiming's credit was still very big. Lu Shuangshuang didn't say much. She left the address, and then turned to look at Su Xiaolu, as if she had vented her anger. "Didn't you say that I can't afford a car? This time, I don't have to buy it. Someone gave it to me. This." Su Xiaolu cursed in her heart. "Look at you, and you still want to buy a farm car. You must be very poor. I don't know how you got lucky, but this man named Xiao Chun took a fancy to you. As a result, you soared to the sky. However, when he got tired of playing with you, he would dump you." Thinking of this, Su Xiaolu couldn't help but say, "Isn't it just buying a farm car? If you have the ability, go buy a Land Rover. Weren't you taking a selfie just now? Your boyfriend is so powerful. Why don't you get him to buy it for you?" Su Xiaolu rolled her eyes and said such a thing. She didn't know the capabilities of Lu Zhiming and Thin Monkey-like. In her opinion, so what if the other party was the boss of Car City? The Kuan's family also opened a large bathing and entertainment center. If they didn't buy a car, who would deal with them? So even if Xiao Chun knew Lu Zhiming and Thin Monkey-like, it didn't matter. She was so angry that she wanted to trick them. First of all, didn't Lu Zhiming give them a car? Then why don't you give them a Land Rover? Second, even if you don't, Xiao Chun, you are so powerful. Why don't you buy one? Third, if I don't buy it, it will definitely cause a knot in Lu Shuangshuang's heart. At that time, I can successfully provoke her and get this chick for my boyfriend to play with. At that time, I can dump her and humiliate her. However, these few words suddenly made De Kuan angry. He did help Su Xiaolu to act cool in front of Lu Shuangshuang. But since he saw that Lu Zhiming and Thin Monkey-like knew Xiao Chun, and even called Xiao Chun boss, he was a little dumbfounded. Wasn't he asking for trouble? Even the young master of Car City called him brother. How could he be so arrogant and think that he couldn't afford a car? Wasn't this a joke? Just as he was thinking about how to remedy it, Thin Monkey-like took the initiative to talk to him. He was planning to smooth things over, but he didn't expect Su Xiaolu to shoot at Lu Shuangshuang again. He was so angry that he was about to explode. He slapped Su Xiaolu's face without thinking. "Did you take your medicine today? Why are you talking nonsense? What do you want to buy? Why do you care what people buy?" Lu Zhiming thought that Xiao Chun was looking for De Kuan to help him buy a car. He felt that something was wrong. Did Xiao Chun need a discount to buy a car? Even if there was a discount, he didn't need to look for him. How convenient was it for him to look for me? Of course, he didn't think too much before. He just thought about how to please Xiao Chun. Now, after listening to Su Xiaolu's words and watching Yang Shuangkuan's performance, he immediately understood what was going on. Lu Zhiming glanced at Thin Monkey-like, and Thin Monkey-like immediately understood. He looked at De Kuan with an unfriendly gaze. "What are you doing here?" "Ugh, we are actually here to buy a car." De Kuan was a little depressed. He lowered his head and said carefully, "What car?" asked Thin Monkey-like. It's the Land Rover Aurora that Lu Shuangshuang was looking at." De Kuan didn't dare to hide and answered truthfully. In fact, they were looking at cars previously, and the car that Su Xiaolu was interested in was the one that Lu Shuangshuang took a photo of. Therefore, Su Xiaolu was a little annoyed and mocked Lu Shuangshuang with a sense of superiority. "Oh, did you buy it?" asked Thin Monkey-like. "Yes, I just paid for it. I will pick up the car later and go to the 4S shop to help me decorate it." De Kuan answered carefully. "Oh, that's great. If you give this car to her, she will have it." Thin Monkey-like pointed at Lu Shuangshuang, and then looked at Lu Zhiming proudly. "Brother Ming, what do you think of my idea? Didn't the Su Xiaolu mock that sister-in-law doesn't have a car? If we give his car to sister-in-law, she will have it, right?" Yes. When Lu Jinming heard it, he nodded continuously. Monkey-like, you have become smarter recently. That's right. Didn't Brother Ming say that the current era is the era of intelligence? We all have to be smarter and learn from Boss Xiaochen, said Thin Monkey-like. De Kuan's face was a little pale. A Land Rover Aurora is already 700,000 yuan. How can he just give it away? But the main problem is, isn't he going to send it off? Does he dare not to send it off? He heard Lu Jinming call Lu Shuangshuang's sister-in-law. If he doesn't send it off, then he will be dead. Haha, needless to say, I saw sister-in-law taking a selfie just now. I thought that sister-in-law must like this car. Haha, this is the invoice for the payment just now. Just in time to change the name and reopen it. Ha 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 ha. De Kuan laughed a little miserably, but there was no other way. Others didn't know, but he understood what Lu Jinming meant to his family. His family was a bathing and entertainment center. Usually, they had to rely on Lu Jinming's Lu family gang. If they offended Lu Jinming, their business would probably not be able to continue. Thinking about it, a car was nothing. However, Su Xiaolu was dumbfounded. Brother Kuan, didn't you say that the car was bought for me? Why did you give it away? Chapter 708. I think you really don't have any medicine. How can you talk like a cute girl? You are with me every day. Why do you need a car? Don't I have a car? You can take my car. De Kuan glared at Su Xiaolu and said angrily. Su Xiaolu was speechless. But she also saw that the situation was not right. She shrank her head and did not dare to say anything more. The thin monkey-like man grabbed the invoice and said lightly, "Then it's all right. Go ahead. We will change the name." Yes. De Kuan was depressed, but he did not dare to say anything more. He could only nod. Lu Shuangshuang looked at Su Xiaolu sympathetically and said to Xiao Chun in a low voice, "How about, we don't take her car? She is quite pitiful." Xiao Chun frowned. But since Lu Shuangshuang said so, a car was really nothing to Xiao Chun now. It was no longer the time when he and Jean Bebe cheated cars. He was about to speak when Su Xiaolu heard Lu Shuangshuang's words. She suddenly jumped up as if she was crazy. She pointed at Lu Shuangshuang and shouted, "Lu Shuangshuang, I don't want you to pretend to sympathize with me. And I don't need you to preach to me. What are you? Isn't it just a powerful man? What's so great about that? You are still poor. Su Xiaolu, that's enough." De Kuan was furious. He kicked Su Xiaolu's, but it made her fall flat on her face. He had just calmed down this matter by using a car to appease Lu Jinming's anger. Was Su Xiaolu crazy? Did she want his business to close down or something? Forget it. She is crazy. Let's go. Xiao Chun shook his head and gave up the idea of returning the car to her. This crazy woman was really unreasonable. Seeing that Xiao Chun didn't say much, Lu Jinming naturally wouldn't say anything. He accompanied Xiao Chun to the previous Land Rover 4S shop. With Lu Jinming here, it was very easy to reissue the invoice. If it was an ordinary customer, it would be troublesome to issue a new invoice. However, Lu Jinming settled it with a few words. When the manager of the 4S shop saw that the car was Lu Jinming's, he immediately asked someone to inform the workshop to add more facilities. Lu Shuangshuang felt like she was in a dream. She wanted to buy a cheaper car before, but in the blink of an eye, she got a Land Rover Aurora. You haven't spent any money yet? I don't think it's a good idea for us to do this. Lu Shuangshuang had a bad feeling about it. Why didn't you think it was bad when you asked me for 10,000 yuan? Xiao didn't know whether to laugh or cry. That was something I sold to you. I didn't ask for it for free. Lu Shuangshuang said. This car was actually given to Lu Jinming by that De Kuan. Lu Jinming is my underling. This is between me and him. You don't have to think too much. Xiao Chun explained. Yes, speaking of it, it was De Kuan who took advantage of it. When the time comes, take care of his entertainment city, and let those little punks not cause trouble. How much trouble did he save? Lu Jinming quickly explained. He gave me a car. He really took advantage of it. I see. After Lu Shuangshuang heard it, she felt at ease. Right, do you have a driver's license? Xiao Chun suddenly thought of an important question. Yes. Lu Shuangshuang's answer was a bit unexpected to Xiao Chun. You have a driver's license? And, I was thinking about driving a tourist car. Because the telescope business isn't very good. Before I met you, I planned to change my career. Lu Shuangshuang said. I heard that many travel companies hire beautiful female drivers for their tourist cars. The salary is not low. Oh, then I'm relieved. Xiaochen nodded. After the procedures were done, Lu Zhiming naturally didn't want to be a third wheel. He said directly, Boss Xiaochen, do you drive the car back first, or should I ask them to get the license plate directly? Just do it directly. Xiaochen didn't want to waste time. Okay. Lu Zhiming responded and asked Skinny Monkey to arrange it. Where should I send the car? If you can't find me, send it directly to the Warriors Market. Lu Shuangshuang should be there during the day. You call her. Xiaochen gave Lu Shuangshuang's number to Lu Zhiming. After the things here were done, Xiaochen left Car City with Lu Shuangshuang. Lu Shuangshuang called her uncle and told him that the rice transplanter was bought. He could receive it there. As for the price, Lu Shuangshuang didn't say much. She just said that she had earned some savings in the city over the years. It would be a gift for her uncle. Although her uncle was embarrassed to accept it, Lu Shuangshuang didn't say much. He could only give up and express his gratitude. Where are we going? Lu Shuangshuang got in the car. She was a little excited. I can't believe I have become a car owner. To the hotel. Xiaochen asked. Why? Didn't you say you won't go today? Lu Shuangshuang glanced at Xiaochen. Then forget it, Xiaochen said with a smile. Then let's go, Lu Shuangshuang said. Hee. Xiaochen smiled. Lu Shuangshuang was a very emotional person. She wouldn't avoid some topics because of shyness and deliberately avoid something. She also missed Xiaochen. They hadn't seen each other for a long time. Since the last time they parted at the Warriors Guild, they hadn't been intimate. Lu Shuangshuang actually missed it too. The night passed uneventfully. The next morning, Xiaochen returned to the Xiao family. However, he saw Xiao Zhao's black face and red eyes. It was a little scary. Xiaochen was shocked. Xiao, what happened to you? Xiaochen asked quickly. Brother, why didn't you come back last night? I waited for you all night, and only fell asleep in the morning. I only slept for 2 hours. Xiao looked at Xiaochen with resentment. Where did you go? I went to see a friend. Xiaochen was a little embarrassed. He didn't expect Xiao to really wait for him to go back at night. This gave him a headache. Before he came back, Xiao Zhao's life was quite good. She didn't have trouble sleeping. Why did she have this problem when he came back? Xiao looked at Xiaochen up and down. A girl? Yes. Xiaochen didn't deny it. I knew it. A trace of helplessness flashed across Xiao Zhao's face. Brother, how many do you have? Aren't you afraid of dying from exhaustion? I won't die from exhaustion. Your brother is also someone who can fight against a general. I won't die from exhaustion. Xiaochen smiled bitterly. Xiao, don't you have a gathering with your classmates tonight? You should sleep. Oh, then I'll go to sleep. You're not allowed to go out. Wait for me to wake up. Xiao nodded. She didn't force Xiaochen to accompany her during the day. Cheng Minjing and the Cheng family all came to the Cushion sect. They were arranged to stay in a courtyard, which was actually a place for ordinary outer sect disciples to cultivate. Although Yao Baoang was an outstanding person among the younger generation, his position in the sect wasn't very high. Little Yao had died outside, becoming a disgrace to the sect. Naturally, no one wanted to stand up for him. When his body was brought back to the sect, it was just a hasty burial. As for Yao Baoang, he also began to endure hardships to test his courage. As Yao Baoang's fiancé, Cheng Minjing naturally had the right to cultivate the sect's mental cultivation method. Early the next morning, Cheng Zhongfan brought her to the sutra depository and let her choose a suitable mental cultivation method. This was also the sect's rule. After bringing her over, Cheng Zhongfan didn't care anymore. From his point of view, since Cheng Minjing had come to the Cushion sect, she was like a fish in a bowl. There was no way she could get out. The so-called 3-year agreement was all nonsense. Cheng Tianqiu and Cheng Zhongming sighed. They didn't expect that the Cheng family, who had been powerful in Songning City for many years, would be gone overnight. From now on, there was no longer a Cheng family in Songning City. Cheng Tianqiu regretted signing the contract with the Cushion sect. However, it was useless to deny it. Cheng Zhongfan was so scheming that he even deceived him. I'm the one who harmed the Xiao family in Zhongqian. I should have seen through Cheng Zhongfan's wild ambition long ago. Cheng Tianxiu was a little helpless. Zhongming, it seems that you're still the best. Father, it's already happened. It's useless for us to regret it. Xiaochen said that he would definitely come to pick up Menjing. We'll just wait for him here. Cheng Zhongming suddenly laughed. Actually, it's quite tiring to be the first person in Songning City. It's better to live a peaceful life here. That's true. Cheng Tianxiu nodded. At noon, Cheng Minjing came back with a mental cultivation method incantation. She just needed to register it at the entrance of the sutra depository. Anyway, these mental cultivation methods were copied versions for the sect's disciples to borrow at any time. Grandpa, Father, I'm going to practice. Please tell Mother that I won't come out for dinner. Just send it to my room. Since Cheng Minjing was already here, she decided not to waste these 3 years. She had to seize every minute and every second to work hard on her cultivation. As for the mental cultivation method incantation, it was indeed as Yi Xiaoye said. There was indeed a manual that required a virgin to practice. However, for some reason, it was thrown into a corner with a layer of dust on it. Cheng Minjing searched for the whole morning. When she was about to give up, she found this secret manual. After thinking about it, it was probably because there were almost no female disciples in the Quishan sect. Even if there were, they would be the family members of male disciples. They were definitely not virgin, so this mental cultivation method was casually thrown into an inconspicuous corner. Cheng Minjing was lucky. She didn't find it, so she was a little discouraged and wanted to find something to vent her anger on. Therefore, she kicked the ground and shouted, "I'm so angry." Then a secret manual flew out. Although she didn't know if she could practice it, Cheng Minjing planned to give it a try. Anyway, she only found this manual, so whether she could practice it or not was not a big deal. Therefore, Cheng Minjing didn't care. She returned to her room and planned to practice in seclusion for a while. Even if she couldn't succeed, she could avoid Yao Boang's harassment. When he came to find her, she could use the excuse of seclusion to send him away. Chapter 709. Sure enough, as Cheng Minjing expected, Yao Baoang came that night. He couldn't do anything to Cheng Minjing during the day, because there were many disciples in the sect. Although Cheng Minjing was his fiancée, everyone knew that they had a 3-year agreement. If he was impatient and tried to do something to her, it would seem that he was unreliable if someone saw Cheng Minjing's resistance. It would affect the senior management's impression of him, and it would not be worth it. Therefore, he chose to visit at night. Father-in-law Grandpa Cheng, are you used to living here? Yao Baoang saw Cheng Zhongming and Cheng Tianxiu, so he greeted them with a smile. Don't worry about us, young Master Yao. We are fine here. Young Master Yao is busy with your cultivation, so you don't have to worry about us in the future. Cheng Tianxiu snorted coldly and said lightly, the Cheng family was under house arrest, and this situation was completely caused by the kid in front of him. Seeing him, how could Cheng Tianxiu have a good expression? Haha, no matter how busy I am, I can't forget the Cheng family. This is also my home. Yao Baoang laughed, then turned his head and asked, by the way, where is Minjing? She went to choose a cultivation method. I'm here to see if she succeeded, and if there are any problems in her cultivation, I can give her some pointers. There's no need for that. My daughter is cultivating in seclusion. She has chosen a cultivation method and is trying it. At this time, young Master Yao should know that she can't be disturbed. Cheng Zhongming said, I believe young Master Yao can understand. Ah, she has chosen. She has already started to cultivate. Really? Yao Baoang was a little shocked. She didn't have any foundation before, did she? Can she cultivate by herself? Won't she be possessed by the devil? No matter what, our Cheng family is an ancient martial arts family in the secular world. Minjing has heard a lot since she was young, so she has some understanding of cultivation. She has also trained her body, so it's not surprising that she directly embarked on the path of devil cultivation, right? Cheng Tianxiu said lightly. I believe that if Minjing is an idiot, Child Yao won't like her, right? This, of course. Yao Baoang was a little depressed. He couldn't refute Cheng Tianqiu's words. He suddenly felt that his IQ was a little low. With just a few words, the other party had cut off the possibility of him meeting Cheng Minjing. However, Xiao Yao was dead, and he had no one to discuss it with. Although this matter was facilitated by Cheng Zhongfan, Yao Baoang also knew that Cheng Zhongfan had ulterior motives in this matter, which was nothing more than forcing Xiao Chen. Now that the goal had been achieved, Cheng Zhongfan didn't care much about whether he could settle Cheng Minjing in advance, so it was impossible to discuss countermeasures with him. It's so late, Child Yao, please go back. Cheng Zhongming made a gesture of invitation. When Minjing comes out, I will inform you. Okay, then I will go back first. Yao Baoang had no choice. The more he was in the sect, the more restrained he was. He couldn't force it. It was a big crime to break into the courtyard of his fellow disciples. Even if Cheng Minjing was his fiancée, he couldn't do it. After all, there was also the issue of the face of the Outer Martial Arts Guild. They had said that it would be 3 years. Couldn't he wait? At that time, the sect would definitely punish him severely. Although he wouldn't be sentenced to death, his ambition was in the top management of the sect, so he couldn't make mistakes in such a small matter. Thinking of this, Yao Baoang could only admit defeat. He turned around and quickly left the courtyard of the Cheng family. Phew! Cheng Zhongming breathed a sigh of relief and wiped the sweat on his forehead. He said helplessly, Father, this is only the first day. I'm afraid there will be trouble in the future. Yeah, there's no way, Cheng Tianqiu said. However, we will try our best to block it. This is the only thing we can do. Cheng Minjing was in the back room. In fact, she didn't enter the state of cultivation, a new mental cultivation method secret book. If she wanted to cultivate it, she had to think about it. She heard Yao Baoang's voice outside and listened carefully. Until he left, she was relieved. Cheng Minjing fell on the bed and suddenly touched the bracelet on her wrist. However, the first thing she thought of was not her grandmother, but Xiao Chen. It was not that Cheng Minjing resented her grandmother and Cheng Tiannu for secretly giving birth to Cheng Zhongfan. After all, this was a matter of the older generation. Her grandfather was a very fickle person. After marrying her grandmother, he hooked up with another woman soon after, who was also the biological mother of her uncle Cheng Zhongqian. At that time, he neglected her grandmother. In that case, it was not incomprehensible for Cheng Tiannu to take advantage of the situation. However, although Cheng Minjing understood it, she felt that she definitely couldn't do it. Even when Xiao Chen pursued Shen Jingxian in front of her before, she never thought of betraying Xiao Chen or anything. Now she wouldn't think about it. At that time, this bracelet was lost and was found by Xiao Chen. At that time, she thought that he wanted to take advantage of her. Now thinking about it, it was infinitely sweet. Cheng Minjing kind of missed the time when she was with Xiao Chen. Perhaps that was the happiest period of her life. She didn't know if this counted as her falling in love with Xiao Chen. In fact, in her bones, she had already determined that she was Xiao Chen's fiancée. So whether she liked him or not, it was not too important to her. Now in retrospect, Cheng Minjing felt that she really fell in love with Xiao Chen. She sighed faintly. Maybe, but what could she do? It could be seen that Xiao Chen was more of a responsibility to her. Otherwise, why did so many things happen with Shen Jingxian, Tang Tang, and Yi Xiaoya, but nothing happened with her? Not to mention that there was no chance in a villa. Even if he used force, he would succeed. Cheng Minjing thought that since Xiao Chen was so powerful, it should be easy and pleasant for him to push her down, right? But he didn't do that. Maybe he really didn't like her. Alas, humph this bastard, don't forget me in 3 years. What should I do? Forget it then forget it, this miss doesn't care about it. Humph. Cheng Minjing immediately thought. So in the contradiction, Miss Cheng fell asleep in a daze. When Xiao Xiao woke up again, it was already afternoon. She dressed up and went to Xiao Chen excitedly. Brother, do you think I'm beautiful today? Well, you're very beautiful. Xiao Chen was discussing the future direction of the Xiao family with Xiao Yuanshan and Xiao Hai. He was going to leave, so he had to arrange things at home. Am I sexy? Xiao Xiao turned around and asked again. Xiao Chun was speechless. Xiao Yuanshan and Xiao Hai were still at the side, and Xiao Xiao actually dared to ask this? Sure enough, Xiao Hai's expression changed slightly. He wanted to say something, but he didn't. Xiao Yuanshan squinted his eyes and glanced at Xiao Xiao, but he didn't say anything. Xiao Xiao also realized that she asked a bit too much, especially in front of her father and grandfather. She immediately stuck out her tongue. I was just joking. Brother, when are we leaving? You decide. What time is your class reunion? Xiao Chen asked. Then it's about time, let's go. Xiao Xiao said. Brother, you should dress up too. Don't embarrass me. I'm a man. Why do I need to dress up? Wait for me to change. Xiao Chen stood up helplessly and walked towards his villa. Xiao Chen left. Xiao Hai's gaze sharpened. He looked at Xiao Xiao, who was also leaving, and said, Xiao Xiao, come here. Ah, what is it, Dad? Xiao Xiao turned around and looked at Xiao Hai strangely. Is there something? Sit down. I have something to ask you. Xiao Hai's expression was very serious. Xiao Xiao didn't dare to joke around anymore. She quickly and obediently sat on the seat that Xiao Chun was sitting on. Dad. Xiao Xiao looked at her serious father and asked carefully, although you and Xiao Chun are brother and sister, don't go overboard with some things. Don't let other families see you as a joke. Xiao Hai hinted. What do you mean? Xiao Xiao blinked her big watery eyes. She didn't seem to understand Xiao Hai's meaning. What joke? We didn't bully anyone. You and Xiao Chun have been sleeping together these few days? Xiao Hai didn't answer, but changed the topic to ask. Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of firecrackers. Xiao Xiao nodded. You two are already so big. You should avoid it. Otherwise, how are you going to find in-laws in the future? Xiao Hai hinted. In-laws? Why would I find in-laws? I'm not looking for one. I'm already hurt enough with the Chung family's matter. Dad, the Xiao family doesn't need to rely on anyone anymore. We don't need to look at anyone's face. Brother is enough. Are you still going to let me marry into other families? Although Xiao Xiao knew that her father didn't mean it that way, she still changed the topic. Xiao Hai's expression changed. He felt a little guilty. Hearing Xiao Xiao say this, he felt a little embarrassed. He felt that Xiao Xiao might be against finding a boyfriend. Then, you have to find a boy that you like in the future, right? Yes, I've liked my brother since I was young. Xiao Xiao nodded seriously. Xiao Hai's expression changed. He wanted to say something, but he was interrupted by Xiao Yuanshan. Xiao Yuanshan asked indifferently, Xiao Xiao, do you know something? Ah, know what? What do I know? Xiao Xiao was stunned. She looked at Xiao Yuanshan. Grandpa, what are you talking about? You and Xiao Chen are brother and sister. Xiao Yuanshan's words were probably not understood by anyone. This question was simply nonsense. Yes. Xiao Xiao nodded and looked at her grandfather. It's fine. Xiao Yuanshan waved his hand and said, Go. Have fun at the gathering tonight. Xiao Chen will be leaving after Chinese New Year. You guys won't have much time together. Oh, okay. Grandpa, Dad, I'll go prepare. Xiao Xiao nodded and quickly ran out. Looking at Xiao Xiao's back, Xiao Hai frowned. Dad, just now you. Chapter 710. Nothing. Xiao Yuanshan shook his head and said, I feel that Xiao Xiao seems to know something. Yeah, I have this feeling too. Xiao Hai also had a weird expression. But I'm not sure. Actually, it's nothing. It's the same whether she knows or doesn't know. This matter is nothing at all. We have too much time to worry about it. With the current status of the Xiao family, who dares to say anything? Who can say anything? Xiao Yuanshan smiled faintly. Moreover, it's really nothing. That's true. I'm worrying for nothing. Xiao Hai nodded. Indeed, our Xiao family doesn't need to marry anyone else. We don't need to worry too much about Xiao Zhao's matter. Actually, it's better this way. Xiao Yuanshan smiled. At 4 o'clock in the evening, Xiao Chen drove the well-dressed Xiao Xiao to the location of the class reunion, Immortal Resort. Why is it this place again? Why are all the class reunions here? Could it be that this is a place for professional class reunions? However, Xiao Chen usually didn't pay attention to it. He didn't know that this immortal resort was indeed such a place. It specialized in hosting some companies' annual meetings, parties, as well as class reunions, corporate fraternities, etc. As long as one searched online for the best class reunions in Seongning City, they would find this place. Therefore, the organizers of those class reunions also looked at other people's comments before choosing this place. However, Xiaochun was naturally familiar with this place. He didn't need navigation and directly drove there. And, brother, it's not right. Why are you so familiar with this place? I'm still using my phone to check here. And you know where to go? Xiao Xiao stared at Xiaochun with a weird look. Tell me, have you accompanied other people to class reunions? The reason why Xiao Xiao said other people was that Xiaochun was basically not interested in class reunions. If she asked him to go alone, he definitely wouldn't go. Ugh, I accompanied one. The one who was with me yesterday. Xiaochun didn't hide it. It was also at that time that we met. Then you got together that night? Xiao Xiao frowned. Brother, why do you still want this kind of woman? She's definitely not a good girl. How can she sleep with someone on the first day of meeting? That's too embarrassing. That's not it. I just pretended to be her boyfriend. It's just a freak combination of factors that made it real. So I made her a hem. Xiaochun could only blame it on himself. In fact, it was mostly on himself. So it's your responsibility. No wonder. Xiao Xiao didn't say anything after listening. Then you really have to take responsibility. It's really a headache. How many sisters will I have in the future? You should call her sister-in-law, not sister. Xiaochun glared at her. I'm not married yet. Of course, I'm calling you sister. Xiao Xiao said as if it was a matter of course. All right. Xiaochun reluctantly accepted this reason. By the way, you can play during the class reunion later. I'll just close my eyes in the room. That won't do. I've already told them that I'll bring my boyfriend. What's the matter if you don't show up? Others will think that you don't like me. Xiao Xiao immediately objected. What? You told others that I'm your boyfriend? Xiaochun's eyes widened. Yeah, is there a problem? Said Xiao Xiao. Of course there is. When did I become your boyfriend? Xiaochun was confused. Xiao Xiao, can you stop joking? You can pretend to be someone else's boyfriend, but you can't pretend to be mine. I'm already 16 years old. I still don't have a boyfriend. How shameful is that? Xiao Xiao snorted. So what if you're 16 years old? You're still a kid. Xiaochun glared at her. Your main task now is to study hard. Tisk, aren't you ashamed to say this? When you were 16, you didn't pursue Xin Jingxian. Xiao Xiao snorted with a look of contempt. I've already said it. If you want to embarrass me, you can expose me in public. At most, I'll drop out of school. Forget it. I'm really scared of you. Xiaochun was suddenly depressed. I can pretend that there's no problem, but the key is that Qi Zhigao knows me. Isn't he your classmate? I've already talked to him. I'll pretend that I don't know you. Don't act too familiar with him at that time. Xiao Xiao exhorted. Okay. Xiaochun could only agree. What else do you need to pay attention to? Tell me all at once. Oh, the rest is to adapt to the situation. We can play together at that time. Xiao Xiao said. You just have to cooperate. Be intimate with me. Don't let others see it. Oh, okay. Xiaochun nodded. It was fine to be intimate. They were already close enough at home. Xiaochun was already used to it. The car drove to the immortal resort. Because Xiao Zhao's second high school was also an aristocratic school, there were many children from rich families. Therefore, there were already many cars parked in front of the apartment building where Xiao Xiao mentioned the gathering. Obviously, they were all here to attend the reunion, because Xiaochun transferred to second high school not long ago, and Xiao Xiao was very cold to Xiaochun. The two of them didn't have much interaction at all. Only Qi Zhigao had seen Xiaochun before. He really didn't know the other students. As soon as she got out of the car, a girl walked over with a boy and waved at Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao, you're here? Let me see your mysterious boyfriend. Sun Nanxue, were you waiting for me? Xiao Xiao replied with a smile. Let me introduce you. This is my boyfriend Xiao Chang. He has the same surname as you. Sun Nanxue was a little surprised. She looked up and down at Xiaochun who had parked the car. He's quite handsome and quite sturdy. How is it? Isn't he strong in that aspect? Otherwise, why would he be called Xiao Chong? I can't tell you about that. Xiao Xiao glared at Sun Nanxue and said, Why don't you tell me how often you and Brother Chen do it? It's a secret. Sun Nanshue's face turned red. Xiao Chun was a little speechless. The topic of conversation between female friends was really fierce. He looked at the girl beside Sun Nanxue. She also had an awkward expression. When she saw Xiao Chun looking over, she nodded at him in understanding. My name is Xiao Chong. It's our first time meeting. I hope you can take care of me, Xiao Chun said politely. Xiao Xiao, where did you find him? When you have a child, his surname will also be Xiao. Your Xiao family will have a descendant. Your father will be very happy, right? Sun Nanxue laughed. Yes, that's for sure. I specifically found him this way. Xiao Xiao said proudly without the slightest bit of awkwardness. No wonder you didn't like Qi Zhigao back then. It turns out that his surname is Qi. Sun Nanxue also laughed. Let's go in. Who's in charge of the registration today? Xiao Xiao asked. Who else could it be? It's that little bitch Qiao Yuling. She thinks that she's hooked up with Qi Zhigao. She even thinks that she's a member of the Qiao family. She's been jumping around lately. She's involved in everything. It's not enough for her to show off. Sun Nanxue curled her lips. Obviously, her relationship with Qiao Yuling wasn't very good. Qiao Yuling? Xiao Chun was slightly stunned. Isn't that the person Xiao Xiao met on New Year's Eve? She's actually in the same class as Xiao Xiao. At that time, Xiao Xiao acted as if she didn't know her. It turned out that there was a conflict between them. By the way, Xiao Chun, be careful when you see Qi Zhigao later. He's Xiao Zhao's pursuer. I'm afraid that he'll cause trouble for you. Sun Nanxue reminded Xiao Chun. Well, it's nothing. Xiao Chun shook his head. Qi Zhigao probably wouldn't cause trouble. As for Qiao Yuling, it was hard to say. However, Xiao Chun was now very famous. In Songning City, there weren't many forces that dared to go against him. In this way, the possibility of the Qiao family going against him was very small. As they spoke, the four of them walked into the lobby of the resort's apartment building. Sure enough, they saw Qiao Yuling dressed up gorgeously. She was sitting at the registration desk, talking and laughing with a boy. However, that boy wasn't Qi Zhigao, which surprised Xiao Chun. Looking at Qiao Yuling flirting with him, Xiao Chun couldn't help but frown. Why is this woman like this? She's taking advantage of Qi Zhigao's absence to get close to another boy. Even if there's nothing going on between them, it's not good, right? One of the boy's hands was already touching Qiao Yuling's thigh. The other hand was placed on Qiao Yuling's shoulder. It was very close to her chest. Isn't the relationship between Qi Zhigao and Qiao Yuling very good? Xiao Chun asked Xiao Xiao secretly. I don't know. On the surface, it's still okay. I don't pay attention to them. Besides, it's the holidays. They don't go to school often. Who knows? Xiao Xiao shook her head, indicating that she didn't know. The four of them walked over to register. When Qiao Yuling saw Xiao Xiao and Xiao Chun, she was slightly surprised, but she didn't say much. She registered them properly and assigned them a room. At this moment, Qi Zhigao walked into the lobby. When he looked up and saw Xiao Chun, he was delighted. He was about to greet him, but he suddenly remembered that Xiao Xiao had told him to act like he didn't know him. So he didn't greet him. However, when he looked again, he saw Qiao Yuling was so intimate with the boy. They were even hugging each other. His face suddenly turned ugly, and he strode over. Qiao Yuling, what are you doing? Asked Qi Zhigao. I'm chatting with my boyfriend. Qiao Yuling didn't care at all. Zhigao, are you jealous? Qi Zhigao took a deep breath. Although he already knew that this boy named Wu Yoha was Qiao Yuling's deskmate, and they were good friends, it was hard to guarantee that such an intimate action wouldn't make him think of something. However, he couldn't be angry, so he said lightly, It's nothing. I just want to see if you're tired. Why don't we go out and do some shopping? Okay. Qiao Yuling nodded. Then she said to Wu Yoha, who was beside her, Little Hehe, I'll leave it to you. Zhigao and I will go out. Honey, I'll reward you tonight. Chapter 7:11. Go ahead. Wu Yoha smiled and sat in Qiao Yuling's previous seat. However, this scene made Xiaochen feel a little awkward. Intuition told Xiaochen that the relationship between Qiao Yuling and Wu Youha was definitely not as simple as it seemed on the surface. Cultivators had always been very sensitive, but since he did not catch anything, Xiaochen could not say much, let alone provoke the relationship between Qi Zhigao and Qiao Yuling. Qi Zhigao and Qiao Yuling walked out, and Qi Zhigao could not help but remind her, "Qiao Yuling, you should be more careful next time. You and Wu Youha are so close. What will I think?" "Aya, so what if he's my best friend? We've been desk mates since elementary school. We've always been. There's nothing we can't talk about." Qiao Yuliang smiled and said, "Right, I'm going to the bathroom." "Okay." Qi Zhigao nodded. Qiao Yuling entered the washroom and busied herself for a long time. Then she let out a long sigh of relief and cursed. "This Wu Youha. He made me feel awkward. Damn it. I must get even with him tonight." After cursing, she took out her phone and dialed a number saying, "Brother, guess who I saw? It's Xiaochen. He actually accompanied Xiao Xiao to the class reunion and said that he's her boyfriend. Do you think there's something going on between them? Can we use this to attack Xiaochen?" "What does that have to do with you?" Qiao Yuliang received the call and heard Qiao Yuling's bullshit. He immediately became angry. "Mind your own business. You're already married to the Qi family. Stop it. Restrain your debauchery. Don't let others use it against you. If you break off the engagement, the Qiao family will lose face. As for Xiaochen, he can do whatever he wants. Didn't you see that the Quishan faction has left? Oomph. What kind of personality do I have? It's all because of you." Qiao Yuling snorted coldly. She was a little unhappy. She had long been treated as a commodity by Qiao Yuliang and given to Cheng Mingqiang to play with. Now he still had the cheek to criticize her? "Don't talk nonsense. Be careful outside," Qiao Yuliang warned. "Your main purpose now is to control Qi Zhigao. It's best to find a way to let the Qiao family swallow the Qi family after he becomes the young master of the Qi family. In this way, our Qiao family can develop. The Cheng family is no longer reliable. Cheng Mingqiang ran away by himself. Now we have to find our own way out." Oh, Qiao Yuling was a little dissatisfied in her heart, but she still responded. She agreed and turned to leave the bathroom. Seeing Qi Zhigao, she happily took his arm. "Zhigao, let's go." "Well, okay." Seeing Qiao Yuling, who was very enthusiastic to him, Qi Zhigao felt a little better. After all, compared with Xiao Zhao's indifference, Qiao Yuling could be said to be very obedient and especially docile. Therefore, when Qiao Yuling occasionally played with some boys, Qi Zhigao would turn a blind eye. After registering, Xiao Chun and Xiao Xiao went upstairs to find a room to settle down. Sun Nanxue and Brother Chen followed behind. Brother Chen's name was Chen Shufeng. He was Sun Nanxue's boyfriend. Although their families were not as prominent as the Xiao family, they were also considered as a business family in Songming City. Of course, there were not many people here who knew about Xiao Zhao's family. Sun Nanxue didn't know either. She only thought that Xiao Zhao's family was very rich. She didn't know that it was the Xiao family in Songming City. Of course, the Xiao family had been very low-key before. Only Xiao Chun was a high-profile member. "Hey, Xiao Xiao, why are you in such a hurry to go back to your room? Did you have an interest on the way here and want to settle it?" Sun Nanxue looked at Xiao Xiao mischievously. "I think you two are the ones who are in a hurry, right?" Following behind us sneakily, Xiao Xiao curled her lips and said, "I have been living with my brother every day for the past few days." "Your brother?" Sun Nanxue was stunned. "It's Xiao Chong. His surname is also Xiao, and he is older than me. I call him brother." Xiao Xiao realized that she had let the cat out of the bag, so she quickly covered up the lie. "I say, Xiao Xiao, your hobby is quite unique. You actually call him brother. Are you imagining that he is your brother, but you aren't together?" He. Sun Nanxue looked at Xiao Xiao strangely. "So what if I am?" Xiao Xiao said indifferently. "Anyway, we aren't biological siblings. Let's just add some spice. You don't even understand this." "Alright, I'm afraid of you." Sun Nanxue was a little helpless. "We will go in and settle down. I will look for you later. Let's go eat dinner together. I just informed you." "Okay, no problem. I'm just afraid that you will take too long." Xiao Xiao teased. Their rooms were next to each other. After they finished talking, they entered the room. Xiao Chun was a little dumbfounded. Why are girls so unscrupulous when talking to each other nowadays? After entering the room, he couldn't help but smile bitterly. Xiao Xiao, do you usually talk to that Sun Nanxue like this? Yeah, you don't understand the world of girls. It's so tough that you can't imagine it. Xiao Xiao disagreed. What do you think? Maybe Shen Jingxian and Cheng Minjing usually talk about you together. It's just that you don't know. All right. Xiao Chun was speechless. He could only say, let's settle down and go down. Aren't we going to do something? It's already done over there. Xiao Xiao pointed to the next room. Xiao Chun listened carefully. Indeed, the soundproofing effect of this room was really not good. This time, the party was booked in an old apartment building. It should be quite old. Hearing this sound, Xiao Chun suddenly felt a little embarrassed. Let's ignore them. Let's watch TV for a while, Xiao Chun said, and was about to turn on the TV. No way. They must also be paying attention to us. If we don't do something, Sun Nanxue will laugh at us later, Xiao Xiao said. Then what should we do? Xiao Chun was speechless. What do you think? Xiao Xiao blinked her eyes. Stop joking. Xiao Chun glared at her and said angrily. You won't really let me do it, right? Hee hee, you go and push the bed, then I'll call. Xiao Xiao smiled mischievously. Xiao Chun suddenly breathed a sigh of relief and said in a depressed tone. Your class reunion is really troublesome. Is it worth it? I have already told Sun Nanxue. If I don't do anything, she will definitely think that it's either you or me who has a problem, Xiao Xiao said in a serious manner. I don't want her to always joke about this kind of thing in the future, so this is the only way. Okay. Xiao Chun walked to the bed and began to push the bed. Suddenly, there was a loud crunch sound in the room, and Xiao Xiao moaned in cooperation. This moan shocked Xiao Chun. Why is this sound so real? It's just a little exaggerated. Seeing that Xiao Chun stopped, Xiao Xiao suddenly shouted, Don't stop, then. She glared at Xiao Chun and pointed to the bed. Xiao Chun could only continue to shake the wooden bed, but Xiao Xiao's voice made Xiao Chun's heart move. He couldn't help but feel a little short of breath. Xiao Chun quickly blocked these unrealistic thoughts from his mind. He tried not to listen to Xiao Xiao's moans, and shook the bed desperately. Finally, the two on the opposite side stopped. Xiao Chun glanced at Xiao Xiao and said, Can we stop too? This really isn't something a human should do. No, let's do it for a while. You have to win against them, and show that you can last longer than Brother Chun. Xiao Xiao lowered her voice and shouted again. Xiao Chun was at his wit's end, so he could only cooperate and continue shaking the bed. Xiao Chun shook the bed until it was almost falling apart. Only then did he say, Is this finally enough? Okay, I'll let you go. Xiao Xiao was also tired of shouting. She quickly found a bottle of mineral water and drank it. Then she complained. Gosh, it turns out that this kind of thing is so tiring. I haven't done it yet, and I'm tired just shouting for a while. You're still talking. I'm shaking to death. Xiao Chun shook his arm and said, Xiao Xiao, you really put me in a difficult position. Aya, who asked you to be my brother? I can only ask you to cooperate. If I find a random person to pretend to be my boyfriend, when I call him, he can't help but push me down. Or can I go to reason with him? Xiao Xiao waved her hand. It's just like what you did. Fake becomes real. Well, then you should look for me. When Xiao Chun heard that Xiao Xiao intended to look for someone randomly, he was naturally worried. He would rather be tired himself. Isn't it just shaking the bed? It's not a big deal. After a while, Xiao Xiao's cell phone rang. It was a Weixin message from Sun Nanxue. I say, Xiao Xiao, you two are too fierce. It's earth-shattering. I can only hear the clanging sound. How strong is the impact? You didn't die from the impact, right? If don't talk about me. Aren't you two the same? We didn't want to, but we heard that you were over there, so. Xiao Xiao replied, not to be outdone. Okay. Are you two done? Let's go down to eat. Sun Nanxue said. Okay, then let's go down, Xiao Xiao said, and then told Xiao Chun. Later, you help me walk, as if I'm exhausted because of you. Xiao Chun glared at her, but he still helped Xiao Xiao out of the room. Then, he saw Sun Nanxue and Brother Chen walking out of the room. "This name of yours is indeed very strong," Sun Nanxue said with admiration. "But only Xiao Xiao can bear it. If it were me, I would have died a long time ago." Brother Chen is still gentle. Sun Nanshua's words made Brother Chen proud. Although he felt that he wasn't as fierce as Xiao Chen, his woman's praise was still very useful. Xiao Chen glanced at Sun Nanxue. This woman wasn't simple. She didn't forget to protect her boyfriend's face at all times. It seemed that she cared a lot about this boyfriend arranged by her family. However, Xiao Chen was also very relieved that this kind of person was friends with Xiao Xiao. At least she was a smart person, and wouldn't do stupid things. "Oh, I'm so tired. Brother, carry me on your back," Xiao Xiao said to Xiao Chen coquettishly. "You're already an adult, why are you still carrying me?" Xiao Chen said, "I can't walk because of you. What should I do? My legs tremble when I walk," Xiao Xiao said and hung on Xiao Chen's body. Chapter 7:12. I really don't know what to do with you. Xiao Chen couldn't explain that he didn't do it at all. He could only carry Xiao Xiao on his back and walk downstairs. Anyway, he had carried her on his back more than once. From childhood to adulthood, he often carried Xiao Xiao on his back. But now that Xiao Xiao had grown up, the softness of her chest pressed against Xiao Chen's back, which made him feel a little uncomfortable. When they went downstairs, most of the students in the class had already arrived. Seeing Xiao Chen carrying Xiao Xiao downstairs, many people were a little surprised. They didn't expect that Xiao Xiao, who had always been cold and elegant in the class, would be so intimate with a boy. In fact, Xiao Xiao was also a goddess in the class. Qi Zhigao wasn't the only pursuer. It was just that Qi Zhigao was richer and had a better family background. But now, Qi Zhigao already had Qiao Yuling, so he naturally wouldn't pursue Xiao Xiao. These boys thought that they had a chance, but Xiao Xiao was already taken by someone else. They couldn't help but feel a little disappointed. Among them, there was also someone who wasn't convinced. It was the sports commissary of Xiao Zhao's class. He also had a good family background. Compared to Qi Zhigao, he was also the young master of an aristocratic family. Compared to Qi Zhigao, he was better because he was the heir of his family. The reason why he didn't launch an attack on Xiao Xiao before was that his position as the heir of his family hadn't been confirmed. His family was a Jinwu aristocratic family, which was one level higher than ordinary aristocratic families. His family wouldn't allow him to marry a woman from an ordinary family. But now it was different. He had become the heir of the young master, so he had more autonomy. He didn't need a marriage to take advantage of the position. Even if he had to marry for benefits in the future, Xiao Xiao could also be the second wife. And this time, he was one of the supporters of this class reunion. He also funded part of the expenses. His purpose was to get closer to Xiao Xiao. But he didn't expect that it would be like this. He walked towards Xiao Xiao with a gloomy face. He looked at Xiao Chen and asked coldly, "Xiao Xiao, who is this person?" "Gao Bisi, what does this have to do with you?" Xiao Xiao was a little unhappy. "Are you here to check my household registration?" "Of course not." Gao Bisi's face changed. He frowned and said, "Xiao Xiao, I'm just afraid that you will be cheated. At your age, it's easy to be cheated. This person seems to be from the underworld, right? There are a lot of liars out there." "He is my brother," Xiao Xiao said coldly. Gao Bisi was dumbfounded. "Your brother? Brother, ignore him. Let's go." Xiao Xiao patted Xiao Chen's shoulder and signaled him to continue carrying her forward. Xiao Chen carried Xiao Xiao to the dining room. Gao Bisi's expression was a bit strange. "This person is Xiao Zhao's brother? Is this for real? Then wouldn't he have offended his brother-in-law?" However, he still felt that something was wrong. He turned around to look at Sun Nanxue and Brother Chen and said, "Brother Chen, we're from the same courtyard. Tell me what's going on." When Chen Ge heard this, he looked at Sun Nanxue awkwardly. Although Gao Bisi lived in the same neighborhood as him, and his villa wasn't far away, it wasn't appropriate for him to say such things. "Gao Bisi, that's Xiao Zhao's boyfriend. Don't think too much about it. She calls him Big Brother as a form of intimacy. It's a way to make things more interesting. Now that they're sleeping together, you won't stand a chance." Sun Nanxue reminded after thinking for a while. What? When Gao Bisi heard this, his face suddenly became a bit distorted. Sleeping together? Is this for real? Sun Nanxue, did you see it or did they say it themselves? They live next door. We heard the earth-shattering sound just now. Brother Chen patted Gao Bisi's shoulder sympathetically and then sighed. You have no chance. Forget it. Don't think so much. Have fun. I'm so angry. How can Xiao Xiao do this? Gao Bisi clenched his fist. He was so angry that his body was trembling. He stared at the backs of Xiao Chen and Xiao Xiao fiercely. The woman he wanted was gone before he even laid his hands on her? He couldn't accept it. He was the heir of Jinwu's Gao family. What he wanted must be his. When he was angry, he suddenly felt someone pat him from behind. Gao Bisi was shocked. He turned around and found that it was Chao Yuling. He naturally knew who Chao Yuling was. She was a woman from the Chao family of Songning. When the Chao family wanted to do business in the Gao family's territory, the two of them had met and spent the night together. Although Chao Yuling's appearance was ordinary, her skills were top-notch. Therefore, Gao Bisi remembered it clearly. He didn't expect that she would be his classmate after he transferred to Songning City. He just didn't have the chance to kiss her again. When he saw Chao Yuling, Gao Bisi felt hot. Yuling, what's the matter? You didn't accompany Qi Gao? Brother Gao, do you want to pursue Xiao Xiao? Chao Yuling asked. That's right. It's not a secret. Why do you ask? Gao Bisi was a little confused. I can help you secretly. Chao Yuling was actually very jealous of Xiao Xiao. Although Chao Yuliang didn't allow her to do anything to Xiao Xiao, she could incite others to do it. There was no other reason. She just didn't like Xiao Xiao. Oh, what do you mean? Gao Bisi looked at Chao Yuling with great interest. Xiao Xiao's boyfriend is a playboy. He cares a lot about his reputation. You find a way to make a bet with him. The bet is Xiao Xiao. But remember, don't fight with him. Chao Yuling reminded. She had seen Xiao Chen's information because of her relationship with Chao Yuliang. Although she knew that Xiao Chen's current strength was not bad, in her opinion, Xiao Chen's previous playboy was also true. He was a person who cared a lot about his reputation, but he didn't achieve anything. As long as she started in this aspect, she would definitely be able to deal with him. Why? Isn't it good to fight? Gao Bisi was a little puzzled. He said, You know, I'm a disciple of the Gao family of Jinwu. I'm a martial artist. Isn't it easy to deal with this guy? You don't believe me? There's a reason why I told you not to use force. You can play some intelligent games with him. His IQ is not good, but he still has brute force. Chao Yuling reminded. Through this period of observation, Chao Yuling felt that Xiao Chen did not have any intelligence at all. He completely relied on his absolute strength to do things. It was a blatant suppression. Therefore, she was determined not to compete with him in terms of strength. Okay. Gao Bisi thought about it and nodded. Then tell me, what should I compete with him in? For example, playing cards, which is a business strategy, or bowling, which is a technical strategy. There's no way to use force. Chao Yuling suggested. I really don't understand. I'm a martial artist and have an absolute advantage. Why do I have to compete with these? Gao Bisi was a little inexplicable. Aya, he must know that you're a martial artist. If you compete with these, do you think he can accept it? Even if he's a playboy, he's not a fool. Chao Yuling said helplessly. You're right. Gao Bisi nodded after listening. Xiao Xiao must have told Xiao Chang about his identity. You're indeed the brains of the Chao family. Hehe, I'm just SOSO. Chao Yuling smiled sweetly. Then I'll leave first. Wait, Yuling. Gao Bisi looked at Chao Yuling's flirtatious expression as she turned around. Is there anything else? Chao Yuling asked. Do you have time tonight? The desire in Gao Bisi's eyes exposed his thoughts. However, Chao Yuling saw it and didn't mind. She just said lightly, I'll check the time. Gao Bisi nodded happily. Then I'll go and deal with Xiao Chang first. Looking at Gao Bisi's back as he left, Chao Yuling sneered. She hated Xiao Xiao. And at the same time, she hated Xiao Chen. Back then, in order to destroy Xiao Chen's impression in front of Cheng Menjing, Chao Yuliang had asked Chao Yuling to seduce Xiao Chen. However, Xiao Chen didn't take the bait. This was a great humiliation for Chao Yuling. There was no man that Chao Yuling, couldn't seduce. What about Qi Zhigao? Didn't he still fall under her skirt in the end? Therefore, she held a grudge against Xiao Chun and was very angry. Inside the cafeteria, a few big tables were already filled. There were more than 40 people in Xiao Zhao's class, scattered across 5 or 6 tables. Each table had about 7 or 8 people. Xiao Xiao and Sun Nanxue arrived relatively late, so they sat at the last table with no one. Not long after they sat down, Gao Bisi came over. He glanced at Xiao Chun and directly sat beside him. He said, "A straightforward person doesn't beat around the bush. You're not Xiao Zhao's brother. You're her boyfriend, right? What's the matter?" Xiao Chun glanced at the person. At this time he took a closer look. This person was actually a martial artist. This made Xiao Chun a little surprised, but he was still very indifferent. "You're not worthy of Xiao Xiao," Gao Bisi said directly. He listened to Chao Yuling's suggestion and planned to anger Xiao Chun first, then make a bet with Xiao Chun. "Oh, then you mean that you're worthy of her?" Xiao Chun asked disapprovingly. He wasn't Xiao Zhao's boyfriend, so he wasn't angry. Moreover, his sister had a suitor, so there was nothing to be angry about. "Yes," Gao Bisi nodded proudly and said, "It seems that you still have a little bit of self-awareness. You know that only I, Gao Bisi, am worthy of her." "Pfft, your ears aren't good, right?" Xiao Chun was a little speechless. "I'm asking a rhetorical question. Or is your IQ low? Don't say that it's useless. Do you dare to compete with me?" Gao Bisi slammed the table and asked coldly. "Compete? Compete for what?" Xiao Chun asked. "Brother, don't bother with him. He's sick." Xiao Xiao was a little impatient. "Gao Bisi, are you crazy? Everyone is eating here. Why are you slamming the table? Xiao Chun, if you're a man, let's have a drinking competition. Whoever drinks more will be worthy of Xiao Xiao. How about it?" Gao Bisi shouted. Chapter 713. "Oh, I don't have money. Who's going to pay if I drink too much?" Xiao Chun asked. "I'll pay," Gao Bisi said disdainfully. "You don't have money, yet you want to be with Xiao Xiao. Aren't you ashamed? You can drink by yourself. I'm not interested in competing with you." Xiao Chun waved his hand. "I'm going to eat." As he spoke, Xiao Chun picked up a drumstick on the table and started eating. He didn't put Gao Bisi in his eyes at all. "Xiao Chang, are you afraid?" When Gao Bisi saw that Xiao Chun was ignoring him, anger flashed in his eyes. It was as if he was about to explode. He was the heir of a dignified martial arts aristocratic family and a high-level warrior. It was easy for him to deal with a mortal in the secular world. However, Chao Yuling said that he couldn't use force and could only attack from other aspects. He could only endure it for now. "It's not that I don't dare, but I don't have the habit of using women as stakes," Xiao Chun said. "Whether she's worthy or not isn't determined by how much she drinks. According to what you said, will Xiao Xiao marry a drunkard in the future?" This, Gao Bisi was a little speechless, but he still said, "Humph, what I mean is that men should be bold. That's fine. Let's compete. Let's not talk about whether we're worthy or not. Let's see who's more capable." "Oh, that's more like it." Xiao Chun nodded and said, "Okay, let's compete." "Brother." Xiao Xiao was shocked and immediately pulled Xiao Chun. She didn't expect Xiao Chun to really agree. Isn't there something wrong with him? Why should he compete with Gao Bisi in drinking? "Don't worry about me. This is a time to show off. Since there's no stakes, we must compete." Xiao Chun shook off Xiao Zhao's arm and pointed at Gao Bisi. "Tell me, how do we compete?" Gao Bisi was overjoyed when he saw that Xiao Chun was angered by him. He was even happier when he saw that Xiao Chun had shaken off Xiao Xiao. Xiao Chun was indeed easily provoked. He had provoked him with just a few words. At that time, when Xiao Chun drank too much, he would make a fool of himself. He. "It's very simple, whoever drinks the most," Gao Bisi said. "Oh, okay. How much can you drink?" Xiao Chun asked. 50 bottles of this beer is not a problem," Gao Bisi threatened. "Really?" Xiao Chun was a little surprised. This was a large bottle of beer, not the small bottle that he and Song Huawu drank. Moreover, this wine had some alcohol content. If he drank 50 bottles, wouldn't he die? Of course. Gao Bisi was very refreshed when he saw Xiao Chen's surprise, and said proudly, "Okay, then you drink first, and then I'll drink." Xiao Chen nodded and said, "Ah." Gao Bisi was stunned. "Aren't we drinking together? Don't drink together. It's going to be a mess. If I can't help but steal 2 bottles from you and say that I drank it, it won't be good, right?" Xiao Chen shrugged. "Why? Are you bragging to me just now? You can't drink so much. Whether I can drink it or not, you'll know when you see it." Gao Bisi suddenly said angrily. He waved to the waiter not far away and said, "Waiter, give me 50 bottles of beer." "Yes, sir." The waiter responded and went to fetch the beer. The other students looked at this side curiously, not knowing what was going on. Only Chao Yuling's eyes flashed with a smile. It seems that he wants to make a fool of Xiao Chen. She didn't know why, but there was a different kind of pleasure in Chao Yuling's heart when she saw Xiao Chen and Xiao Xiao being defeated. After a while the beer was served. Gao Bisi directly asked the waiter to open it. He picked it up and drank it. Although 50 bottles was a bit much, it wasn't like he hadn't drunk it before. He was confident that he could finish all of them. Xiao Chen was gorging himself at the side, while Gao Bisi was pouring bottle after bottle into his mouth. Every time he finished a bottle, he would look at Xiao Chen proudly. His expression was as if he was saying, "Little guy, are you scared, silly? You're really heroic." Xiao Chen finished a chicken drumstick. He slapped Gao Bisi's shoulder with his oily hands, leaving a big oil print. However, Gao Bisi drank too much and didn't notice it at all. He thought that Xiao Chen was admiring him. "Ha ha ha ha, of course. It's up to you in a while." Gao Bisi gulped down another bottle of beer. Finally, after more than 40 bottles of beer, Gao Bisi was a little confused. He said to Xiao Chen with his tongue hanging out, "Xiao Chong, look, can you do it? You haven't finished drinking yet." Xiao Chen said. At this moment, many students who had finished eating gathered around. When they heard that Gao Bisi was competing with Xiao Zhao's boyfriend in drinking, they all came to watch the show. Since they had nothing to do, this could be considered a highlight of the class reunion. "Hey, there's only 4 bottles. Oh no, 5 bottles left. Let's see if I can finish it." Gao Bisi couldn't tell the difference between 4 and 5. He trembled as he looked at the beer bottle on the table and picked up another bottle. Finally, Gao Bisi drank all 50 bottles of beer. Even though he was a martial artist, his stomach was as big as a toad's. However, his eyes were filled with pride. "How about it, Xiao Chong? It's your turn. I've drunk all 50 bottles. If you can't drink all 50 bottles, then you lose." "Oh, okay." Xiao Chen drew a napkin and wiped his mouth. Then he looked at the beer bottle in front of him and said, "Sigh. I suddenly remembered that I'm allergic to alcohol. I can't drink. I admit defeat." "Oh ah." When Gao Bisi heard Xiao Chen's words, his originally red face suddenly turned green. "What did you say? You can't drink? Then you let me drink. Yeah, didn't you prove that you can drink 50 bottles? You proved that you are very bold. I can't, so I lost. Is there anything wrong with that?" Xiao Chen said seriously, "Ask everyone if this is the case." "Ha ha ha ha. Hee hee hee." Immediately, Xiao Chen's words attracted a burst of laughter from the surrounding students. Of course, they weren't laughing at Xiao Chen for losing because he couldn't drink. Instead, they were laughing at Gao Bisi for being a fool. He drank 50 bottles first and almost became a dead dog. In the end, Gao Bisi directly admitted defeat without drinking a single bottle. Xiao Xiao couldn't help but laugh. She was worried that Xiao Chen wouldn't be able to hold his liquor. However, she didn't expect Xiao Chen to be so evil. He had tricked Gao Bisi to death. "Damn, you tricked me." Gao Bisi was immediately enraged. His face became a little distorted. He shouted with a ferocious expression, "Xiao Chong, if you have the guts, drink 50 bottles too. I've already admitted defeat. Why would I still drink? Are you crazy?" Xiao Chen shrugged and said, "You've already won. I also admit that you're powerful. What else do you want?" Gao Bisi was a little confused after hearing what Xiao Chen said. "Yeah, I've already admitted defeat. What else do you want? Isn't my ultimate goal to make Xiao Chen admit defeat? However, why am I not happy at all even though I've won?" A wave of alcohol rushed to his brain, and Gao Bisi almost fainted. He was too angry. Chao Yuling, who was at the side, was also unbearably angry. I told you to use your IQ. Use your IQ. Why are you so stupid? What IQ does drinking in a competition count for? Why are these martial arts practitioners so stupid? Gao Bisi turned his head and saw the sarcasm on Chao Yuling's face from the corner of his eyes. He was immediately annoyed. Chao Yuling, accompany me later. I need to vent. As soon as Gao Bisi said this, the students present were dumbfounded. What's going on? Chao Yuling was Qi Zhigao's girlfriend. Although Gao Bisi didn't explicitly say what he wanted Chao Yuling to accompany him for, the sentence vent had already exposed a lot of information. Therefore, everyone looked at Chao Yuling strangely. Qi Zhigao, who was at the side, also had a gloomy expression. He stared at Chao Yuling in disbelief. Gao Bisi, what nonsense are you talking about? You must have drunk too much. Chao Yuling was furious. How could Gao Bisi say these words in public? Did he drink too much? Ugh. But thinking about it, he really drank too much. What's wrong? Do you want to have a chastity when you're a whore? Gao Bisi didn't notice anything wrong at all. He continued. It's not like we haven't played before. Why are you pretending? Zhigao, this person drank too much. Ignore him. Let's go. Chao Yuling was so angry that she turned around and pulled Qi Zhigao out. Her heart was full of resentment. She finally felt like she had shot herself in the foot. If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have urged Gao Bisi. Now Qi Zhigao was obviously suspicious. Xiao Chen's mouth flashed a sneer. It seems that this Gao Bisi and Chao Yuling are very familiar. However, this had nothing to do with Xiao Chen. He stood up and said to Xiao Xiao, Xiao Xiao, let's go back to the room and rest for a while. Xiao Xiao nodded. She was also very happy. This annoying Gao Bisi finally suffered a setback. Even Chao Yuling lost face. Everyone pay attention. There is a group activity in the evening. Now is the free time after dinner. Everyone can go back to their rooms and rest first. You can also play around nearby. When the time comes, I will send a message to the class's Weixin group to inform everyone about the next step of the activity. The person who spoke was Xiao Zhao's class monitor. He was a quiet-looking boy. The students responded one after another. There was nothing to see, so they dispersed. Xiao Chun, Xiao Xiao, Sun Nanxue, and Brother Chen went upstairs together. While walking, Sun Nanxue said, Xiao Chong, you're really bad. You tricked Gao Bisi to death, and at the same time, indirectly tricked Chao Yuling. Ai. Right, Sun Nanxue. Do you think there's something going on between Chao Yuling and Gao Bisi? Xiao Xiao lowered her voice and asked mysteriously. I think there's something going on. Actually, I've long heard that there's something going on between Chao Yuling and Wu Youha. When they were in physical education class, they were caught being intimate in the bathroom. It's just that Qi Zhigao didn't know about it. Sun Nanxue said mysteriously, but it's hard to say. Who knows if it's true or not without seeing it? Chapter 7:14. Yeah, I don't care about them. I thought my brother was going to drink with him. It scared me. Xiao Xiao patted her chest. I say, Xiao Xiao, I realized that you are really a brother complex. Not only did you find a boyfriend with the same surname as you, but you also call him brother. It's so intimate. He. Sun Nanxue suddenly said. Brother Chen, why don't I call you brother in the future? That. We don't have the same surname. Brother Chen was a little embarrassed. Are we cousins? That's fine. Sun Nanxue nodded and said, then let's try it later. Up to you. Xiao Xiao shrugged and returned to the room with Xiao Chun. Brother, why don't we do it again? Xiao Xiao asked. Do what again? Xiao Chun was slightly surprised. Just now. Xiao Xiao was a little embarrassed when she said this. She wasn't completely open in front of Xiao Chun, especially when she called him that just now. She didn't know if Xiao Chun would think too much. Again. Sure enough, after Xiao Chun rejected, he suddenly asked, Xiao Xiao, have you had this kind of experience before? What experience? Xiao Xiao was stunned and immediately understood. How can I have this kind of experience? Then why did you call him so realistically? Xiao Chun looked at Xiao Xiao from head to toe. Aya, who hasn't seen Ivy's movies a few times these days? Xiao Xiao blushed and stomped her feet. Don't tell me you haven't seen it. Forget it. Xiao Chun was embarrassed. He didn't expect a girl to watch it. Then are we still coming? Xiao Xiao asked. No, look at how the neighbor didn't come. If we come again, they will think that we are full of energy and have nowhere to vent it. Xiao Chun said. You think too much. Xiao Xiao saw that Xiao Chun didn't cooperate and was a little unhappy. Why am I overthinking? If it weren't for you overthinking, we wouldn't have to do such a laborious and unrewarding thing. Xiao Chun was a little speechless. What? From what you're saying, it seems like you still want to work hard to please me. Xiao Xiao blinked her eyes and looked at Xiao Chun. Are you serious? Stop joking. Xiao Chun pulled a long face and said, Xiao Xiao, if you continue to be so frivolous, don't ask me to accompany you to these activities next time. Aya, wasn't it just a joke? As if I could really do anything. Xiao Xiao rolled her eyes at Xiao Chun. If I'm not serious, I would have gotten together with you when we were young. I wouldn't have waited until now. Really, you don't trust your sister at all. I'm just saying it casually. Xiao Chun didn't expect Xiao Zhao's reaction to be so big. After resting in the room for a while, Sun Nanxue sent a message asking if Xiao Xiao was free. The four of them went out for a walk. Xiao Chun didn't mind, but it was rare for Xiao Xiao to come out to play. Naturally, she didn't want to spend the time in the room, so she happily agreed. When the four of them went downstairs, they happened to see Qi Zhigao quarreling with Chao Yuling. In the distance, the four of them stopped their footsteps. Chao Yuling, tell me clearly today. What the hell is going on? Qi Zhigao drank a little today, and he was a little angry. Say what? Didn't I say it already? I have nothing to do with him. My family introduced him to me before. We met on a blind date. What's the big deal? Chao Yuling frowned and said, Do you have to yell like this? Then why did he say that today? Qi Zhigao obviously didn't believe it. You men like to talk big when you drink too much. What's the big deal? Chao Yuling spread her hands and said, If you drink too much, you might also brag a little. Say that you have slept with Xiao Xiao. Do I still have to believe it? Chao Yuling's words were very vicious. Qi Zhigao was a little annoyed after listening to it. Don't drag other people into the things between us. You are not allowed to talk about Xiao Xiao. If I knew it. You still like Xiao Xiao in your heart when you are with me. Only you are allowed to like other people. There's nothing going on here. Do you believe a few jokes from other people? Chao Yuling snorted coldly. Forget it. Qi Zhigao sighed and said, Let's go, Chao Yuling. I don't care what you did in the past. I hope you can be more self-respecting in the future. After all, you represent the face of my Qi family. You and Wu Yoha shouldn't make too much trouble. Okay, I know. Narrow-minded. Chao Yuling stuck to Qi Zhigao's body. The two of them went downstairs affectionately. Xiao Chun frowned. He also felt that there was something wrong with Chao Yuling, but it was not good to tell Qi Zhigao. He and Qi Zhigao could not be considered close friends. At most, they were on good terms. This was especially so after he gave up on pursuing Xiao Xiao, so he rarely interacted with Xiao Chun. The four of them came to the chess and card room on the first floor. Many students were playing here. Some were playing cards, some were playing mahjong, and some were playing billiards. What surprised Xiao Chun was that he saw Gao Bisi here. This guy had drunk so much just now, but at the moment, he was talking and laughing like a normal person. He stood next to the billiards table with a cigarette in his mouth and was playing billiards with others. This guy is so good at drinking? He sobered up after a while. Xiao Chun was a little surprised. He is a warrior from a foreign family. Brother, don't fight with him, Xiao Xiao reminded him. Previously, Gao Bisi was at the side, so Xiao Xiao couldn't remind him. Later, when Gao Bisi got drunk, Xiao Xiao thought that he had gone back to sleep. She didn't expect him to appear again, so she quickly reminded him. Oh, Xiao Chun responded faintly. Once upon a time, the family was a high and mighty existence in Xiao Chun's eyes. Even the Chung family was unreachable. However, now Xiao Chun didn't care about them at all. Xiao Chun had already offended the Quishan sect. Why would he be afraid of a family like the family? Xiao Chong, you're good. Gao Bisi also saw Xiao Chun and made a shooting gesture. He said with a gloomy face, Come and play billiards. Do you dare? You still want to play? Xiaochen smiled faintly. That's right. Do you dare to bet something this time? Gao Bisi waved his hand, and the guy who played with him immediately put the cue aside. He helped Gao Bisi take out the billiards balls that had fallen into the bag and rearrange them. You won last time. Why do you want to win again? Xiaochen shrugged. Then you play first. No, I have to bet something this time. Gao Bisi didn't fall for it. He pointed the cue at Xiaochen. If you are a man, you will agree. This is a battle between men. If I win, you will leave Xiao Xiao. If you win, I will leave Xiao Xiao. Do you have to be so funny? If you win, you will leave Xiao Xiao? Are you together with Xiao Xiao? Xiaochen looked at Gao Bisi with disdain. What do you say then? Gao Bisi wasn't annoyed. As long as Xiaochen agreed, the outcome was set. He used to be a professional billiards player, and his hobby was to play billiards. If you lose, you will immediately disappear from my sight. Leave this resort and transfer from Xiao Xiao's class. Xiaochen said. Since this person always harassed Xiao Xiao, it was necessary for him to help Xiao Xiao solve this problem. You. Gao Bisi was stunned. He didn't expect Xiaochen to make such a request. Do you dare or not? If you are a man, then bet. If you are not, just forget what I said. Xiaochen imitated Gao Bisi's tone and shouted. Why wouldn't I dare? Okay. But if you lose, you will leave Xiao Xiao and never contact Xiao Xiao again. How about it? Gao Bisi thought about it and said. Okay. Xiaochen nodded directly. You say it. What do you want to play? Just the normal free fancy billiards. Gao Bisi said. Let's play rock paper scissors to decide who will go first. Oh, no need to guess. You go first. I'm afraid that if I win in rock paper scissors, you will have nothing to do with it. Xiaochen said faintly. And Gao Bisi was stunned. But then he remembered that Xiaochen said that he wanted to admit defeat. So he thought that Xiaochen was just pretending to be bad *SS. He suddenly smiled and said, Okay, then I won't be polite. This time he learned to be smart. Whether Xiaochen said anything or not, he didn't care. Winning was the key. Moreover, this time, even if he played alone, and Xiaochen admitted defeat, he would still win. Before the gambling, he lost because he didn't agree on the bet. Otherwise, if the 50 bottles of wine were drunk, even if Xiaochen didn't drink a bottle, he would still be the winner. Gao Bisi took a deep breath and prepared to start. His posture was very professional. He hit the cue ball elegantly. He was about to reap the joy of victory. But what he didn't expect was that the cue ball suddenly jumped over the billiard balls on the table and fell into the empty space behind. It rolled a few times and stopped. Gao Bisi was a little dumbfounded. What is this situation? How can I hit such a jump ball? It's not possible, right? He turned the cue in disbelief. He wanted to see if the cue split. You scared me. Your skills are just SOSO. I thought I was going to lose. Xiaochen went up with the cue and hit it. All the balls on the table scattered. It seemed like there was no pattern to the shot. But he didn't expect that the ball would fall into the pocket. According to the rules, Xiaochen continued. But Xiaochen said, It's your turn, right? No matter how shameless Gao Bisi was, he couldn't go directly. There were still so many people watching. At this moment, he was also sure that Xiaochen didn't know how to play billiard at all. He could only say with a black face, It's still yours. Oh, Xiaochen nodded and hit another ball. But this time, no ball fell into the pocket. Finally, it was Gao Bisi's turn. Gao Bisi took a deep breath. He completely blamed the previous mistake, because he was too anxious. At this moment, he calmed down and aimed before hitting again. However, what made Gao Bisi dumbfounded again was that the cue ball flew out with a whoosh and flew out of the billiard table. What's going on with this? Xiaochen deliberately pretended not to know and asked, Is this a very bad *SS play? Chapter 7:15. Okay, Brother Gao. Zhou Aliang nodded and went to get the cue stick. I get it now. Only a martial artist can unleash a continuous stream of inner energy. You added inner energy to the ball, which is why the ball keeps hitting the ground. You're cheating. Gao Bisi roared. Watch me this time. I'll get it in one shot. Gao Bisi changed his cue stick and felt his confidence soar. He rubbed his palms together and stood beside the billiard table. With a bang, the ball flew out. Xiao Chen's side was still the same. He got a ball in one shot. The next shot didn't even hit the ball. The cue ball rolled on the table twice. It seemed that his level was very average. Chao Yuling was wearing a low-cut dress. As a result, she was hit directly. It was so painful that her tears almost came out. She couldn't help but exclaim, "Ah!" Therefore, although it looked like he was bumping around randomly, he was full of momentum. Very soon, all the balls were knocked into the bag. Xiaochen won. "Brother Wang, there is a solo cultivator who is acting bad *SS in front of us. Can you help me deal with him? It's best to catch him and lock him up for a while." Gao Bisi lowered his voice and said, "Don't worry. There will definitely be benefits after this." "Oh, it's my turn again." Xiaochen shrugged. "I say, Gao Bisi, your level is only like this. You still dare to compete with me? How much better can you be than a beginner like me? I think you're not as good as me." Xiaochen was a little speechless. This Gao Bisi seemed to be endless. What if I'm from a martial arts sect? However, there was no other way. No matter how much he doubted it, Chao Yuling was now his fiancée. He could only carry her and quickly run out of the entertainment room. After Xiao Xiao heard it, her face turned red. She was a little shy. "Okay. Holy *T. Gao Bisi was about to go mad with anger. What was going on today? The ball seemed to be possessed by a demon. No matter how he played, he couldn't feel it. What he didn't know was that the ball wasn't possessed by a demon, but by Xiao Chen's primordial qi. Xiao Chen could use sword kinesis flight with ease, much less a small billiard ball. The ball flew out of the billiard table like a cannonball and flew towards the door of the recreation room. At this time, Chao Yuling and Qi Zhigao walked in. Coincidentally, the billiard ball hit Chao Yuling's cleavage with a dong and was sandwiched between them. "In the immortal resort near Songning City. Do you think you can come and investigate?" Gao Bisi said carefully. He knew that Brother Wang was the deputy leader of Team B of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. Naturally, he had the authority to investigate some cultivators, especially those rogue cultivators without any background. "Oh, where are you?" Brother Wang nodded to show that he understood. You are a martial arts master." Gao Bisi suddenly thought of a possibility. He pointed at Xiao Chen and shouted in disbelief. "How is this possible?" Gao Bisi looked at this scene in disbelief. How could anyone hit such a powerful ball? Xiao Chen casually hit another ball, and it landed in the pocket. However, when he hit another ball, he hit the cue ball into the pocket. "Don't look for excuses. Zhou Aliang, find another cue ball." Gao Bisi snorted. This result made Xiao Chen extremely shocked. He didn't mean it. He just let Gao Bisi's ball fly out. Who knew it would hit Chao Yuling and even break her? "What else can I do?" "Of course, I want to be intimate with you," said Xiao Chen. "Oh, a rogue cultivator." Gao Bisi breathed a sigh of relief. If Xiao Chen was from a sect, he would have to think about whether he could afford to provoke him. Now that he was a rogue cultivator, it didn't matter. So he said, "How about this, let's compete in bowling." "Oh, okay." Xiao Chen didn't expose him. Anyway, he was just playing with him. If he won in one go, it would be boring. After hesitating for a while, Gao Bisi decided to take action. He found a corner where there was no one, took out his phone and dialed a number. "I think before the game, you'd better check on Chao Yuling's condition." Xiao Chen couldn't be bothered to speak to this kind of shameless person. If it wasn't for the class reunion, he would have sent him flying with a kick. After speaking, he said to Xiao Xiao, "Xiao Xiao, let's go upstairs." Qi Zhigao's face was even uglier. Chao Yuling's chest was actually fake? Every time Chao Yuling made out with him, she turned off the light. He didn't pay much attention, but now he saw that Chao Yuling, an unmarried young girl, actually had this kind of surgery. Gao Bisi's eyes were burning, but he really didn't dare to do anything to Xiao Chen. Although he believed that Xiao Chen was a rogue cultivator without a sect, he was strong. He could only look at Xiao Chen with a gloomy face as he left. "Don't talk big. This cue doesn't fit me today. I'm going to change it." Gao Bisi's face was gloomy. He said to the boy who had just played with him, "Zhou Aliang, help me change the cue." Everyone knew that bowling required skill, but pure strength was not enough. Xiao Chun could imbue a billiard ball with his internal energy to make it spin continuously, but it was not suitable for bowling. No matter how much strength one had, no matter how continuous, the bowling ball could only be hit once. If it missed, it could not be hit again. Therefore, Gao Bisi came up with this method of competition in a flash of brilliance. In terms of strength, he should be a martial master, but not too high. He should be at the first level of martial master, Gao Bisi said. As for his background, he is the boyfriend of my classmate, and I like that classmate. So Brother Wang, you know. Bang! This time, the cue ball didn't fly, but it didn't fall into the pocket either. The trajectory of the billiard ball was completely different from what he had expected. It would be strange if it could fall into the pocket. He had suspected that there was something between Gao Bisi and Chao Yuling before. Seeing this scene, he couldn't help but be angrier. So what? Xiao Chun didn't deny it, but asked back. However, Xiao Chun was extremely annoyed with Chao Yuling. If he could let Qi Zhigao see the real face of this woman, it would not be in vain. Don't brag. If you were from the martial arts world, how could you like Xiao Xiao? Gao Bisi didn't believe it. Don't try to make up an identity to suppress me. It's useless. Just tell me if you want to compete or not. A rogue cultivator, Xiao Chun said. Gao Bisi, did you do it on purpose? You want to flirt with Chao Yuling? Qi Zhigao was a little annoyed. What did Gao Bisi mean? Did he want to hit the billiard ball on Chao Yuling's chest? Wasn't this a blatant flirtation? Then let's go. Xiao Chun hugged Xiao Zhao's arm and walked to the door of the recreation room with her in his arms. Nothing is impossible. Just have more strength. Xiao Chun said faintly. Okay, I won. You should get lost according to the agreement. A rogue cultivator? What strength? What's her background? After Brother Wang heard it, he didn't immediately agree but asked. Zhou Aliang quickly brought a cue ball. Xiao Chun was too lazy to waste time with him. He hit it hard. The cue ball was like it was injected with chicken blood. It began to hit back and forth on the table, as if its power would never stop. Gao Bisi's face twitched. According to the rules, dropping the cue ball into the pocket was the same as sending the cue ball flying. It was a penalty of 1 stroke, and the other side could play 2 strokes. However, since he had already stated the rules, it could not be changed. He could only play resentfully. Ahem, this is my mistake. It's your turn. Gao Bisi's face turned red. In fact, according to the normal rules, Xiao Chun could play 2 strokes in a row, but this rule wasn't stated. So he said, if you hit the ball away, you will play. Now let's set this rule. Go upstairs? Why? Xiao Xiao was watching excitedly. She was also very excited to see Xiao Chun show his prowess. In the end, Xiao Chun suddenly wanted to go upstairs. Oh, then you hit it away just now. It's my turn. Xiao Chun was about to hit it, but he saw that the cue ball was gone. Right, you hit the ball on Chao Yuling before. It seems that you didn't take it out. Mistake. Gao Bisi's face darkened. After he sobered up, he knew that he had gone overboard just now. He shouldn't have said those words to Chao Yuling. Some things were tacitly understood. If he said it, it would break the rules of the aristocratic families. It was fine to play together, but it shouldn't affect their marriage. Moreover, Xiao Xiao was still there. What would Xiao Xiao think of him? Gao Bisi really wanted to beat up Xiao Chun, but he didn't dare. If Xiao Chun was a martial arts master, wouldn't he be courting death? Thinking of this, Gao Bisi could only say resentfully, this doesn't count. Let's compete in other games. I didn't know you were a martial arts master before, but even if you were, wait, which sector are you from? They wouldn't dare to say anything even if they found a random reason to lock them up and investigate them. Especially Group B, which was directly in charge of martial arts masters. Even some martial arts aristocratic families had to listen to them, let alone a rogue cultivator. Young Master Gao, why are you looking for me? A plain voice came from the other side of the phone. Although it was polite, it wasn't respectful. Are you really stupid or pretending to be stupid? How did I cheat? Didn't you ask me to compete with you just to play? Why do you care how I played? Besides, you can do it too, Xiao Chun said disdainfully. In fact, His original intention of looking for Xiao Xiao was to take her as a concubine for fun. But now it had evolved into anger. If he didn't take Xiao Xiao down, how could he have face? Especially when he was slapped in the face by a rogue cultivator. It's broken, it's broken! Chao Yuling screamed. It turned out that her chest was plastic, but it was broken by the billiard ball. Fillers were flowing out. Gao Bisi, don't you want to go and take a look? She's broken because of you. Xiaochen reminded him. Don't say those useless things. Let's continue. I will definitely beat you today. Gao Bisi ignored Chao Yuling. He was a disciple of a martial arts aristocratic family. An ordinary martial arts aristocratic family was nothing in his eyes. He believed that the Chao family would be happy to compensate them after the event. Chapter 7:16. Oh, I happen to be on a mission nearby. You wait for me. I will call you when I arrive. This brother Wang was naturally Wang Chake, the deputy leader of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau's Team B. He didn't mind helping Gao Bisi. Team B had more dealings with those real martial arts families, and Gao Bisi happened to be the heir of the Gao family, so they usually had a lot of interactions. Wang Chake didn't mind helping him out. Okay, thank you, Brother Wang. Gao Bisi was overjoyed. As long as I catch Xiao Chun and give him a few warnings, wouldn't I have a chance? Thinking of this, Gao Bisi was also a lot happier. Qi Zhigao sent Chao Yuling to the hospital. After opening the examination, he found out that it was only the padding inside the dress that was broken and leaking. Chao Yuling herself had no problem. Although Chao Yuling had undergone breast enlargement surgery, it wasn't something that could be broken with just one hit. She was in pain from being hit, and the water was leaking at that time. She couldn't tell what was leaking, so she made a big mistake. Now she felt better, and it wasn't so painful. Qi Zhigao could only return to the resort with Chao Yuling. On the way, Qi Zhigao couldn't help but ask, Chao Yuling, why did you do this kind of surgery? I was just envious of those beauties with breast enlargement, so I did a surgery. It's not a big deal, right? It doesn't affect anything. Chao Yuling said. Didn't you like it in bed before? Qi Zhigao was embarrassed, and he didn't ask anymore, but he increasingly felt that there was something wrong with Chao Yuling. He even laughed at Qi Ziyuan for finding a B***TCH, and he seemed to be the same. The two returned to the resort. Although the classmates came up to express their condolences, Qi Zhigao obviously felt that everyone's eyes were a little weird. After a few words, Qi Zhigao didn't have the mood to continue playing here, so he said, let's go up. Oh, Chao Yuling nodded. She was also a little annoyed with Gao Bisi. In her opinion, Gao Bisi was also intentional. He must be taking revenge on her for what happened during the meal. The two went upstairs. Qi Zhigao didn't say much. He stood alone in the bathroom and smoked. Chao Yuling tried to seduce him several times, but it didn't work. Qi Zhigao rejected her coldly. Qi Zhigao, what do you mean? Chao Yuling snorted. Nothing, I just want to be alone. Qi Zhigao said coldly. Up to you. I'm going out to get some fresh air. Chao Yuling turned around and walked out of the room, but she didn't go anywhere else. Instead, she went to find Wu Yoha. Just now, she was stuck between a rock and a hard place, and it was a good time to solve it. She originally wanted to solve it on Qi Zhigao, but this guy didn't know what to do, so she couldn't blame others. Seeing that Chao Yuling really slammed the door and left, Qi Zhigao was slightly stunned. He wondered if he was being too unreasonable. Furthermore, Chao Yuling was his fiancée after all. Thinking of this, he wanted to chase after her. But he didn't expect to see Chao Yuling enter Wu Yoha's room, with a seductive look the moment he stepped out of the door. As for Wu Yoha, he was practically half hugging and half carrying her in. A nefarious fire emerged from Qi Zhigao's chest. He wanted to rush over and break the door, but he shook his head after thinking about it. Chao Yuling was in a bad mood. It was reasonable to complain to her best friend. What if she was fine? Moreover, it was me who drove Chao Yuling away. Thinking of this, he calmed down and continued to smoke, but he didn't close the door. Instead, he left a gap in the door and kept an eye on Wu Yoha's room. About half an hour later, Qi Zhigao saw Chao Yuling walk out of the room with a flushed face. This made Qi Zhigao's heart suddenly twitch. He couldn't help but curse in his heart. Did I really do something shameful? Qi Zhigao just wanted to rush out of the door. But he saw Qiao Yuling stop at the door of another room. She knocked on the door, which made Qi Zhigao's footsteps stop. He held back his anger and wanted to see what Qiao Yuling was going to do. The door opened, and the person who popped his head out was actually Gao Bisi. Qi Zhigao didn't expect this. Could Qiao Yuling be looking for Gao Bisi to settle the score? Actually, that wasn't the case. When Qiao Yuling came out from Wu Youhe's room, she didn't feel satisfied, so she thought of Gao Bisi. The anger of being hit had long been thrown to the back of her mind. Gao Bisi was slightly stunned when he saw the person outside the door. Why did you hit me just now? Also, did you drink too much? What nonsense were you talking about when you were eating? Of course, Qiao Yuling wouldn't directly say her purpose. That would seem a bit too cheap. I didn't do it on purpose. You know, I drank too much. The billiard ball after that must have been done by Xiao Chong. That kid is a martial master and has internal force. I suspect that he injected internal force into the billiard ball, so it hit you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Gao Bisi explained. Is that so? After Qiao Yuling heard this, the expression on her face turned from gloomy to sunny. Of course. What's wrong, little beauty? Have you forgiven your brother? Come in and play with your brother. Gao Bisi saw the flush on Qiao Yuling's face. He was a little moved and reached out to hug her. After some hesitation, Qiao Yuling followed Gao Bisi into the room. Qi Zhigao was so angry that his whole body was trembling. He cursed in his heart. Bitch. As expected, I was really blind. However, even though he was angry for a moment, Qi Zhigao didn't know what to do. Although Qiao Yuling was like this, if he fell out with Qiao Yuling, it would be equivalent to the Qi family falling out with the Qiao family. His helpers would all be gone. Not only that, but he might also become a sinner of the Qi family if he offended the Qiao family. At that time, the position of young master would no longer be his. For a moment, he really didn't know how to make a decision. However, if he just accepted it like this, he would really be too aggrieved. Although Chen Xiaojiao, who Qi Ziyuan found, had a messy private life, after following Qi Ziyuan, she behaved herself and didn't cause any more trouble. However, this Qiao Yuling was different. She was sneaky and pretended to be decent on the surface, but she did some dirty and shameless things behind his back. Finally, Qi Zhigao couldn't control his mood. If they fell out, so be it. At worst, he would not be the young master anymore. He really couldn't stand this kind of woman. This kind of woman was too hateful. She was simply playing him like a monkey. Qi Zhigao pushed the door open and rushed out. Then he kicked Gao Bisi's door. With a loud bang, the door split open, and he saw an unbearable scene. He saw Qiao Yuling kneeling on the ground, doing unimaginable things, while Gao Bisi was behind her. This made Qi Zhigao's blood boil. Qiao Yuling, what else do you want to say? Gao Bisi, you bastard. Qi Zhigao pointed at the two of them and scolded at the top of his voice. Qiao Yuling was shocked. She let out a scream and suddenly lay on the ground. She didn't believe that Qi Zhigao would rush in. Brat, are you crazy? How dare you kick my door? You don't want to live, do you? Gao Bisi was shocked and almost fell ill. Fortunately, his body shivered and he ended the fight. He didn't care about pulling up his pants. He directly shook off Qiao Yuling and walked to Qi Zhigao. Qi Zhigao's eyes were burning. You actually went in directly like this. Qiao Yuling, you want me to take safety measures when you are with me. You said that you are afraid of getting pregnant. You are really a bitch. Shameless. Gao Bisi, I will fight with you. Pa. Gao Bisi's slap sent Qi Zhigao sprawling on the ground. Although Qi Zhigao was a martial artist, his level was too low. He was simply not Gao Bisi's opponent, a high-level martial artist. You don't care about your own woman, and you still talk about me? Do you still have the face? Gao Bisi kicked Qi Zhigao's body again and again. In an instant, Qi Zhigao's head became like a pig's head. He didn't care anymore. He had just suffered a setback from Xiao Chun, and had nowhere to vent his anger. Now all of it was directed at Qi Zhigao. Furthermore, he didn't show any mercy. Qi Zhigao spat out a mouthful of blood and fainted. At this time, Chao Yuling reacted and quickly shouted, "Gao Bisi, don't hit him. He is dead. Dead is dead. What can I do?" Gao Bisi sneered. "He is just a child of an ordinary family. What can I do even if I beat him to death? He kicked the door and provoked me first. Even if the Warrior Guild and the Supernatural Investigation Bureau are involved, he is not in the right." I beg you, don't hit him." Although Chao Yuling was a bad person, she didn't want anything to happen to Qi Zhigao. Moreover, being with Qi Zhigao was also good for the Chao family. The Chao family was after the Qi family's business. Now, how could she be with Qi Zhigao in the future? If Gao Bisi didn't hit him, he would admit his mistake and ask the Gao family to compensate the Qi family. This matter would probably be over. But now it was all too late. Go to hell. Gao Bisi jumped up and stomped heavily on Qi Zhigao's chest. Qi Zhigao spat out a mouthful of blood again. His sternum caved in. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Then he ignored Chao Yuling. He put on his clothes alone and strode out. Sob, sob, sob. Chao Yuling cried. She didn't expect things to turn out like this. The loud noise also alerted the students in the nearby rooms. They all ran over to see. They saw Chao Yuling naked and Qi Zhigao lying on the ground. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Xiao Chun and Xiao Xiao also heard the noise. They walked out and saw this shocking scene. "Qi Zhigao, what happened to you?" Xiao Chun walked over quickly. His eyes swept over the naked Chao Yuling with a sharp gaze. "What's going on?" He was beaten by Gao Bisi." Chao Yuling said while crying. "Why was he beaten?" Xiao Chun asked. He caught me with Gao Bisi." And then, Chao Yuling couldn't care less about her embarrassment. She could only answer truthfully. "Xiao Chun, you are so powerful. Save Qi Zhigao. He is dying." Chapter 717. Xiao Chun frowned. He didn't care if Chao Yuling called his real name. Instead, he ran the mantra and quickly healed Qi Zhigao. Qi Zhigao's injury was very serious. If it wasn't treated in time, he might not have long to live. What Xiao Chun didn't expect was that Gao Bisi had already treated Chao Yuling like this just now. And this woman still came to have sex with him. It was really hard to imagine. How could this woman be so cheap to this extent? It was simply unimaginable. In Qi Zhigao's body, many internal organs had been ruptured, and his bones were broken. If it weren't for Xiao Chun's universal vitality, he wouldn't have survived even if he was sent to the hospital. It took a while to heal Qi Zhigao's internal injuries, but Xiao Chun didn't care about those external injuries. After a while, Qi Zhigao woke up faintly. When he saw Xiao Chun treating him, his eyes suddenly became wet and tears fell. "Brother Xiao, thank you." "It's nothing. You go back to the room and rest first. Chao Yuling, this is your own matter. I don't want to interfere, but I hope you two can solve it properly. Don't force me to kill you." Xiao Chun said faintly. "You should know that if I kill you, no one dares to do anything. Chao Yuliang is a dog in front of me, even worse than a dog. I can also trample his master, Cheng Mingxiang, to death if I say so." Chao Yuling shivered all over. Xiao Chun's gaze made her dodge a little. Her body was cold. At this moment, she finally knew what stupid thing she had done. Previously, she actually wanted to deal with Xiao Chun. That was simply courting death. If she wasn't Qi Zhigao's fiancé, Xiao Chun would have killed her already, right? Yes. Chao Yuling didn't dare to say anything more. She was going to help Qi Zhigao back to the room. "Get lost." Qi Zhigao broke free. "Even if you don't find it shameful, I find it shameful." After that, he staggered towards the direction of his room. Chao Yuling quickly put on her clothes and quickly chased after him. This kind of thing was the most difficult to intervene. Xiao Chun could help him beat Gao Bisi, but he couldn't beat Chao Yuling. He could only let Qi Zhigao solve it himself. The onlookers also didn't know the truth. They didn't know how badly Qi Zhigao was injured, nor did they know how much effort Xiao Chun had spent to save him. Seeing that there was no good show to watch, they all dispersed. In fact, for this kind of thing, everyone was just watching the fun, and it had nothing to do with them. Apart from sympathizing with Qi Zhigao, it had nothing to do with them, so they also went about their own business. "Brother, this is bad." Xiao Xiao whispered. Qi Zhigao is really unlucky. If you had promised him, he wouldn't be like this. Xiao Chun sighed and rubbed Xiao Zhao's head. This Qiao Yuling is really tough. I don't like him. I've always treated him as my brother, Xiao Xiao said. What about me? Xiao Chun felt a little awkward. I've always treated you as my boyfriend, said Xiao Xiao. Puffed. Xiao Chun was dumbfounded. What kind of logic is this? My brother is my boyfriend, but Qi Zhigao is my brother. I don't know what Xiao Zhao's little brain is thinking. Do you really think so? I lied to you. But before I see the person I like, I will use you as a shield. Xiao Xiao stuck out her tongue. That's more like it. Xiao Chun breathed a sigh of relief. Otherwise it would be really difficult. Let's go and see them. Don't fight, said Xiao Xiao. Now. Xiao Chun's expression was a little weird. How do we go now? Let them solve it themselves. You're right. Xiao Xiao thought about it. She saw that Qiao Yuling was not wearing clothes, and her body was sticky. It was disgusting. She didn't want to go. Let's go downstairs. It seems that the group activity has started. And then let's go down and see. Xiao Chun nodded. Qi Zhigao returned to the room, and Qiao Yuling followed. As soon as she entered the door, she kissed Qi Zhigao, wanting to get forgiveness. However, Qi Zhigao was so disgusted that he almost vomited. Get lost. Don't disgust me. Qiao Yuling was stunned. Only then did she remember that there were still a few crystal dry marks hanging on her mouth. Anyone with a discerning eye would know what it was. It was normal for Qi Zhigao to be disgusted. She could only kneel in front of Qi Zhigao. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Wrong? What did you say to me? Didn't you say that nothing happened? Are your words bullshit? Qi Zhigao roared. Qiao Yuling, from today on, you are you, and I am me. We have nothing to do with each other. If you want to be AB*TCH, go ahead. No. Qi Zhigao, please forgive me. I really didn't mean to betray you. It's just that there was some contact in the past, and it's not good to cut it off. Otherwise they would have threatened me with these things. I was just afraid that you would know, so I compromised. Really? Qiao Yuling cried. I'm sorry. What's the point of saying this? Qi Zhigao sneered. If you confessed earlier and cut off contact with them, I might not be so angry, but now, Zhigao, think about it. If we fall out, then the Qi family and the Qiao family will be against each other. The business of the Qi family in Songning City and the business of the Qiao family in your family will be affected. Are you willing to do that? And you will have no chance with the position of the young master. Qiao Yuling said. Calm down and think about it. What? Are you threatening me? Qi Zhigao said angrily. I don't dare. What I said is the truth. Zhigao, please forgive me. At worst, I will agree to let you find a few more lovers, okay? I can help you find them. I won't dare to do it again. Qiao Yuling cried and begged. Qi Zhigao had actually calmed down at this moment. He was hot-headed before, but now he was thinking about the consequences. Qiao Yuling was right. If they fell out, it meant that the Qi family and the Qiao family would fall out. Thinking of this, Qi Zhigao sighed. Are you sure you won't dare to do it in the future? I won't dare. You can supervise me, or put a bug on me. Qiao Yuling was happy. It seemed that Qi Zhigao was soft-hearted. She quickly said, Okay, then I'll see your performance in the future. But it's impossible for me to treat you like before. Qi Zhigao said faintly. Although he hated Qiao Yuling, he could only bear it when he thought about the business of the Qi family and the Qiao family. It was a small matter if he didn't want to be the young master, but he would be a sinner if it affected the family. Just watch my performance. I'm going to take a bath. Qiao Yuling nodded quickly. By the way, is Xiao Chun so powerful? He can actually heal you? You recovered so quickly? Well, don't tell anyone about this. Qi Zhigao warned. Although he also admired Xiao Chun, he also knew that some things had to be kept secret. I know, but he is so powerful, and you have a good relationship with him. You can use his help to help you get promoted, Qiao Yuling said. In this way, you will be the young master. You don't need to say these things. Qi Zhigao looked at Qiao Yuling coldly. Why don't you take a bath? Don't you find it disgusting? I'm going to vomit. I'll go right away. Qiao Yuling walked to the bathroom, but she was thinking in her heart. It turns out that Xiao Chun is so powerful. And he has a good relationship with Qi Zhigao. Can I use him? Why don't I seduce Xiao Chun myself? When Xiao Chun gets the benefits, I have to help. AI. It's just that that guy doesn't seem to like me. I can't seduce him. Xiao Chun sneezed and cursed who was talking about him behind his back. Xiao Xiao was stunned. Brother, did you catch a cold? No, how can I catch a cold so easily? I'm already a martial arts master. Xiao Chun said. Oh, you scared me. Xiao Xiao breathed a sigh of relief. Xiao Xiao, are you okay? Why are you so concerned? Sun Nanxue heard Xiao Xiao's nervous tone and couldn't help but tease. What's wrong with me caring about my brother? Right, do you know what to play? Xiao Xiao asked. It seems to be something like truth or dare. It's just to go on stage and draw lots. You have to do whatever you draw. Anyway, it's just these games. What else can there be? Sun Nanxue smiled. Isn't every gathering like this? That's true. I read in some novels that they will play something like a safe kiss. It's just two people holding a glass in the middle and kissing. That's quite interesting. Xiao Xiao said. Forget it. Our class monitor is so conservative. We can't play such a large-scale game. Besides, if two boys draw the same number, it'll be terrible. Sun Nanxue said. It's gay. Xiao Xiao smiled. They entered the recreation room. At this time, the recreation room had been tidied up. There were chairs arranged neatly in a circle. In the middle, there was something like a lottery box. Two students stood beside the lottery box. One of them was the class monitor, called Chun Muzhen. The other was his assistant, called Wang Tianqi. She was a girl. All right, everyone sit down. You might have guessed it. The game we are playing is called Truth or Dare. You have to do whatever you draw. Of course, it's not compulsory to participate. If you don't want to play, you can leave now. But if you are sitting here, you have to play. Chen Muzhen said. You can't say that you don't want to play and still stay here to watch the fun. That's not allowed. If you laugh at others and don't go on stage, it'll be boring. Chen Muzhen's words were fair. Otherwise, if some people didn't want to go on stage and make a fool of themselves, they wouldn't have a chance. Xiao Chen glanced at Xiao Xiao and said, Are we playing here? Of course we're playing. Xiao Xiao was very excited. It's nothing. There won't be any embarrassing risks. Xiao Chen nodded. Since Xiao Xiao likes it, let's play. However, what surprised Xiao Chen was that Qi Zhigao actually came with Chao Yuling. The relationship between the two didn't seem to be affected much. Only Chao Yuling's red eyes proved what happened just now. Chapter 718. Of course, since the person involved was fine, the other students didn't continue to talk about it. This was their family business. It wasn't good to talk too much about it. Gao Bisi didn't come. No one knew where he went. In fact, after Gao Bisi beat up the person, he regretted and worried a little. He was the son of the Jinwu aristocratic family. But beating up the son of an aristocratic family was also a big deal. After all, although he said that he was in the right, it was actually untenable. He slept with the person's wife and beat the person to death. If this was investigated, it would be a big deal. After thinking about it, Gao Bisi decided to go all out. He directly dialed Wang Chake's phone again. What's the matter, young Master Gao? I will definitely be there tomorrow morning. Wang Chake said impatiently. It's like this. Just now Gao Bisi didn't hide it and explained the cause and effect of the matter. After listening, Wang Chake was a little shocked. Why are you so impulsive? Although the Qi family is an ordinary family, they are not weak. Now it's great. What do you want to do? Or in for a penny, in for a pound. When you come tomorrow, Brother Wang, help me to convict the Qi family. Anyway, Qi Zhigao can't live. At that time, we can convict him and give the Qi family a blow. Gao Bisi said ruthlessly. Oh, that's not good, right? Wang Chake frowned. Brother Wang, our Gao family will fully cooperate. Moreover, our Gao family doesn't want the money after the attack. All of it will belong to you. What do you think? Our Gao family is not far from the Qi family. We can help directly, said Gao Bisi. Let me think about it. I'll call you later. Wang Chake was a little tempted, but he still had to discuss it with someone. Moreover, he couldn't eat such a big cake by himself. Okay. I'll wait for your good news, Brother Wang. Gao Bisi was overjoyed. He believed that as long as he had Wang Chake's help, it would be foolproof. Thinking of this, he also breathed a sigh of relief. He lit a cigarette and smoked. Of course, before he received accurate information, he didn't want to meet Qi Zhigao, Xiao Chong, and the others. It was better to hide for the time being and fight tomorrow. In the recreation room, everyone took their places. Chen Muzhen began to call the roll. The student sitting in the front row began to draw lots. It was a boy with a buzz cut. He shyly took out a small piece of paper from the lottery box and handed it to Chen Muzhen. Belly dance in public. Chen Muzhen chuckled. Ah, belly dance. Can I not dance? The boy was stunned and felt a little embarrassed. That won't do. We're all out to play. If we don't follow the rules, it'll be boring, Chen Muzhen said. Oh, all right then. The boy had no choice but to lift up his clothes and reveal his belly. He spun a few times on the spot. There was a burst of laughter from the audience. However, since he had jumped up, the boy was more open and laughed along with him. Okay, next. Chen Muzhen saw that the opening was good and was very happy. The second person who came up was a girl wearing glasses. She carefully took out a piece of paper. Chen Muzhen took it and read. This is a truth question. I ask a question, and you have to answer it truthfully. If you lie, then the guy doesn't have a small penis, and the girl has her period every day. Who wrote this? Come out, I promise I won't beat you to death. Chen Muzhen's words immediately attracted a burst of laughter from the students below the stage. These small pieces of paper were written by a large group of students. At this time, it was unknown who wrote it, but such a vicious curse was really intoxicating. The girl also nodded awkwardly. You can ask. I promise to answer truthfully. Have you watched AV movies before? Chen Muzhen asked with a face full of black lines. The question written on the paper was fine to ask a boy, but the key was to ask a girl. The girl suddenly blushed. She hesitated for a long time. Perhaps she thought of the vicious curse, so she could only nod. Yes. Oh, there was another uproar from the audience. The girl panicked and ran down with a red face. She was a little shy and didn't dare to raise her head. Next, Chen Muzhen shook her head and continued the game. According to the order, the students who were sitting went up one by one. They either asked him to do some embarrassing things or asked some strange questions. Anyway, everyone couldn't escape after going up. The entire recreation room was also full of laughter. It made Xiao Chen feel like he had returned to the time when he was still in school. Thinking about it, he had been away from school for a while. Not long after, it was Xiao Zhao's turn. After she went up, she also took out a piece of paper and handed it to Chen Muzhen. Let me see what our class goddess, Xiao got. Chen Muzhen smiled and took it. She opened it and read, choose one person present to kiss. It must be mouth to mouth. As soon as Chen Muzhen said this, the students below suddenly became excited. This was the boldest adventure note so far. Although there were some embarrassing things in the past, they weren't as bold as this. Xiao Chen was a little helpless. He didn't know what Xiao was doing. He wanted to expose her, but he felt that it wasn't a good idea. He could only bite the bullet and see who she would choose next. Anyway, the note didn't restrict the gender, so he could choose Sun Nanxue. Brother Chang, darling, come on. Xiao waved at Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen was speechless. It was as he expected. Xiao had secretly made a piece of paper. Others couldn't tell, but Xiao Chen, who was a cultivator with sharp senses, naturally saw it. However, in this situation he couldn't refuse. Xiao would be very embarrassed. He had no choice but to bite the bullet and go up on stage. Fortunately, the two of them were brother and sister. It wasn't like they hadn't kissed before. Xiao Chen could only comfort himself this way. Everyone knew that Xiao Chong was Xiao Zhao's boyfriend, so it wasn't strange. However, some boys were very disappointed. Goddess Xiao had been taken away, so they didn't have a chance. After Xiao Chen went up on stage, he glared at Xiao. Xiao giggled and quickly pecked Xiao Chen's lips before separating. It was obvious that she didn't want to let everyone watch a show, which made Xiao Chen heave a sigh of relief. After they were done, the two of them planned to go down. Xiao Chen wanted to scold Xiao Xiao, but he was stopped by Chen Muzhen. Wait, Xiao Chong, it's your turn. You don't have to go down. Oh hee okay. Xiao Chen had no choice but to turn around and draw a piece of paper. Let someone ride on his neck and bring him around the entertainment room. Chen Muzhen read. Xiao Chen was speechless. His luck was really off the charts. What he was afraid of came true. He was afraid that he would draw a piece of paper that had intimate contact with Xiao Xiao. But the result was, fortunately, this was nothing. Xiao Chen was a little unwilling to let someone ride on his neck. He was also a martial master. How could he let someone ride on him? However, Xiao Xiao was fine with it. When she was young, he often played with her like this and let her ride on him. After thinking about it, it was considered lucky that it wasn't a kiss or a hug. Thus he said to Xiao Xiao, who hadn't sat down yet, "Come on up." Hee. Xiao Xiao ran over happily. Xiao Chen squatted down, and Xiao Xiao immediately fell on top of him. She didn't hesitate at all and went up and said, "Go, go. Stop it." Xiao Chen stood up and began to spin around in the entertainment room with Xiao Xiao on his back. Xiao Xiao was not obedient. She twisted around on top of him, which made Xiao Chen involuntarily think of Shen Jingxian. In the past, he also held Shen Jingxian like this, but it was a kind of enjoyment at that time. Now it was a kind of torture. If Xiao Xiao was a child, it would be fine, but now she was an adult. Her legs shook back and forth in front of him, which made Xiao Chen really crazy. He had to warn her. If you move around again, I will throw you down. If you scare me again, I will pee all over you, Xiao Xiao said. Xiao Chen was slightly surprised, but he didn't feel that there was anything ambiguous in these words, because he remembered when he was a child. At that time, he held Xiao Xiao like this, and the little girl peed all over him, which made Xiao Chen really helpless. How old are you? You are still playing this. Ha ha, how old are you? You are also my brother. I want to play, Xiao Xiao threatened. If you don't carry me properly, I will pee. Okay, I am really afraid of you. Xiao Chen smiled bitterly. You still know how to scare people. I am just scaring you, so what? Xiao Xiao laughed. Aren't you afraid of losing face? There are so many classmates, I don't believe you dare. Xiao Chen said angrily. You see if I dare or not. Anyway, you will lose face when the time comes. Xiao Xiao said indifferently. Alright, you've gone one round. Go down, you won't have another chance. Xiao Chen said after going one round. So fast, go home and continue playing with me. Xiao Xiao reluctantly jumped down and sat back on the chair. Qi Zhigao looked over with some envy, but he didn't think much about it. After all, he knew that Xiao Chen and Xiao Xiao were brother and sister. It was not a big deal for them to be close. What are you looking at, Zhigao? Do you still like Xiao Xiao? Chao Yuling asked in a low voice. She doesn't like me, I am just looking. Qi Zhigao shook his head. By the way, do you think Xiao Xiao and Xiao Chen have something going on? Look at them. They are so intimate. They are not like brother and sister. Chao Yuling said. Don't talk nonsense. Qi Zhigao warned. Why are you so anxious? I will tell you secretly. I think Xiao Xiao seems to be picked up. Look at Xiao Xiao's mother. She is very ordinary. Why is Xiao Xiao so beautiful? Chao Yuling said. So I think they both know the situation. Maybe they have already slept together at home and pretended to come outside. Otherwise, how can they be so good? Will you die if you don't talk nonsense? Qi Zhigao said angrily. They have a good relationship with their sister, and they did not do anything out of line. But you, do you have something going on with your brother? Chapter 719. Chao Yuling was stunned. Then she quickly shook her head. How is that possible? Then why are you talking about others? Qi Zhigao snorted. I'm telling you, if you talk nonsense again, don't say that I'm ignoring you. Okay. I just think that if something really happens to Xiao Chen and Xiao Xiao, we can use it to threaten them. You might be able to get intimate with them. Chao Yuling said. I'm not interested. It's your turn. Go on stage and draw lots. Qi Zhigao said faintly. Oh, okay. Chao Yuling happily went to the front. She fumbled in the lottery box and found a piece of paper. Chen Muzhen took the small piece of paper. She only glanced at what was written on it, and her expression was weird. She didn't know if she should read it or not. She was in a dilemma for a while. To be honest, even if it was a game, he didn't want to embarrass his classmates, especially Chao Yuling. What's wrong? Why don't you read it? Chao Yuling was somewhat inexplicable. She also fantasized about kissing Qi Zhigao, and then let Qi Zhigao find some feeling of being loved. But why didn't Chen Muzhen read it? Chao Yuling, why don't you change to another lottery? Chen Muzhen hesitated and said, Change? Why? Chao Yuling was stunned, and then said, Can't this one? It's not that it can't, but... Chen Muzhen didn't know how to say it. I can only explain it this way. The scale is relatively large. Oh, it's okay. You read it. When she heard that the scale was relatively large, Chao Yuling was relieved. She was afraid that the scale wasn't large. If she could have a French kiss in public, it would be good too. Okay. Chen Muzhen had to say. Do a striptease on stage. Take off at least 3 pieces of clothes. Ah. Chao Yuling was stunned. The audience couldn't help but burst into laughter. Chao Yuling had been seen by a lot of people previously. Although she had put on her clothes now, Chen Muzhen's words reminded them of what had happened before. Qi Zhigao's face turned black. This Chao Yuling really wouldn't die if she didn't ask for it. I already asked her to change, but she didn't. Now she is dumbfounded, right? Come on, Chao Yuling. Chen Muzhen had no choice but to say so. Can I change it now? Chao Yuling asked weakly. Although she was a bad person, she still had to consider Qi Zhigao's feelings. If it wasn't for Qi Zhigao, it wouldn't be a big deal for her to take off her clothes in public, but now, definitely not. I already told you to change it, but you didn't listen. Now that you've read it out loud, if you change it, the other students will also have to change it. This game will be meaningless. Chen Muzhen shook her head and said, It's early spring now. Everyone is wearing a lot of clothes. I think you'll only be wearing underwear if you take off 3 pieces of clothing. It's nothing. Okay. Chao Yuling had no other choice but to dance. To be honest, Chao Yuling's dancing posture was not bad. It was as if she had been professionally trained. It was very sexy and attractive, which made the blood of the boys in the class boil. However, Qi Zhigao's face was very gloomy. He felt that he was going to die of embarrassment. But he had no choice. For the family business, he had to endure it. Chao Yuling skillfully took off the outermost jacket, revealing a small vest inside. Soon, the small vest was taken off, and there was a shirt inside. It couldn't be helped. The shirt had to be taken off in the end. However, as soon as the shirt was taken off, the boys present let out a burst of exclamation. It turned out that Chao Yuling was wearing a sexy underwear inside. The looming translucent state was very tempting. Qi Zhigao was a little embarrassed. He couldn't help but snort coldly. Fortunately, the striptease was over. Chao Yuling hurriedly put on her clothes, lowered her head, and ran to Qi Zhigao's side to sit down. Hey, big pervert brother, why are you so engrossed in it? Am I prettier or is she prettier? Xiao Xiao pinched Xiao Chen. How am I engrossed in it? I'm stunned. Xiao Chen was a little speechless. You're prettier, okay? So, did you peek at me? Xiao Xiao lowered her voice. Xiao Chen didn't answer, because he couldn't answer this question. Seeing that Xiao Chen didn't answer, Xiao Xiao snorted angrily. Then she ignored him. Next, it was Qi Zhigao's turn. However, the paper that Qi Zhigao drew asked him to sing a random song, but he couldn't use the original lyrics. He had to modify it on the spot. This was not difficult, so Qi Zhigao passed it easily. Most importantly, he didn't want to stay here anymore. He turned around and walked out of the recreation room. Chao Yuling hurriedly followed him. Xiao Chen shook his head. Although Qi Zhigao and Chao Yuling could be together reluctantly, they probably wouldn't be happy. He really couldn't understand why the women of those big families were like that. But why didn't he meet them? Cheng Minjing was not like that. Shen Jingxian was not like that. Jin Beibei and Xiao Xiao were not like that. But Chao Yuling was like that. Pa! Not long after they went out, there was a crisp sound of a slap outside the door, followed by a woman sobbing. Obviously it was Chao Yuling. Gao Bisi secretly returned to his room when his classmates were in the recreation room. The door of the room had been repaired by the hotel staff. Anyway, it was just some compensation. He didn't care at all. Compared with the Chi family that he was going to annex tomorrow, this was nothing at all. He had been waiting for Wang Chake's call. Finally, Wang Chake called. Wang Chake's own power was not enough. He needed a helper to do this kind of shady business of annexing a family. This helper was his good friend Pang Fengda. After Pang Fengda heard it, he happily agreed. So, Wang Chake replied to Gao Bc. Child Gao, I have discussed with someone about what you said. It is feasible. Well, I can't even imagine it. Xiao Xiao snorted. Suddenly she felt a little uneasy. Is it really like what Xiao Chen said? Is he lying to me? What can I do? Thinking of this, Xiao Xiao's mood suddenly became a little depressed. Back in the room, Xiao Xiao went to take a hot shower and went to bed. However, what surprised Xiao Chen was that Xiao Xiao didn't behave too boldly today. When she came out of the bathroom, she had already put on her pajamas and covered herself tightly. She didn't reveal anything. However, Xiao Chen was a little uncomfortable. He shook his head and went to take a shower. Then he lay on the bed and wanted to hug Xiao Xiao. He didn't expect Xiao Xiao to break away and say softly, "You are right. Although we are brother and sister, there is a difference between men and women. I will sleep by myself." Oh! Xiao Chen was stunned. He couldn't believe his ears. "Xiao Xiao, are you angry? No, let's sleep. I am a little tired." Xiao Xiao's voice had indescribable fatigue and irritation. When Xiao Chen heard Xiao Xiao say so, he didn't say anything more. He thought that Xiao Xiao might really be angry because of what he said. However, they are brother and sister anyway. She shouldn't hold a grudge. Thinking of this, Xiao Chen also fell asleep. You're tuning in to the Journey of the Soul YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.